good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory this morning, coming off that sell-off we saw yesterday in the afternoon that followed U.S. President Trump's tweet saying that further negotiations on stimulus between Democrats and the White House would be suspended until after the election. Futures rebounded later on, though, in the overnight session when Trump also tweeted that he was still very much in favor of further stimulus for both the airlines and other industries that are in desperate need of some aid. So we'll continue to monitor that. Again, back to the upside this morning. Individually this morning, shares of recent IPO Palantir back to the upside after gaining more than 9% yesterday. We'll have a look at that stock coming up. Increased call buying looked to be the only reason as of aftermarket yesterday. Travel-related stocks catching a bit of a bid on this positivity coming in this morning as well. And sports betting site DraftKings down about 3% in the pre-market here this morning after pricing its recently announced share offering. It's Wednesday, October 7th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see a nice rebound here for most of these outside of Japan. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. A bit of a mixed story. You can see Germany and France and also the Swiss market back to the downside so far this morning. We'll shift over to North America and have a look at futures here. Yeah, nicely higher here right across the board for the most part. You can see crude oil and gold at the bottom there in negative territory. Good morning, guys. Interesting morning to come into here. We have a lot of different things kind of pushing the market around so far. A lot of interesting names to get to this morning. Should be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right there. And the big thing, of course, was that crazy fall that we saw off of that stimulus. No stimulus, afternoon play, bouncing just over halfway back now. Market's looking a little bit strong when the president comes out saying he supports some measures, but there's still a lot up in the air. And we were talking about this. It just feels like it's ear to the ground at all times when you're talking about the travel space, because any kind of a headline, the bots will go crazy, stops will get triggered. So, you know, every time I'm in American Airlines or something like that, I always have some kind of an out or a hard stop that's there just to protect you for breaking news coming at any moment. So we'll be watching all of those. There's a couple of gappers to look at as well. And DraftKings, like you mentioned there, Brendan, off. They finally priced that offering at 52. So it's on the move to the downside. Of course, it's such a big runner that in perspective, it's not that big of a move down.
Yeah, we'll watch DraftKings here. Of course, here's the Spiders, which is the S&P 500 ETF. And yeah, here's that move that we're talking about. He does not want any more stimulus negotiations until after the election. So when that happens, you get all the way to the downside. And it's funny because it's not the stock market that gets hit, not these big companies that get hit by no stimulus. It's really just the mom and pop shops at home that can't afford to stay open, restaurants closing and whatnot. It's not Wall Street that's been affected really by this pandemic. It continues to be Main Street. So yeah, that's just a big drop here in the S&P, but then kind of rebounded, and it wasn't even that big of a move. I mean, you're down 1.4% on the NASDAQ and about 400 points on the Dow. We can make that back up today. I think that we probably, not that we get close to it, but we're back to 337. Where did that fall start? 341. So it's kind of a ho-hum reaction here. It looks like the market's coming back strong, Brendan.
Yeah, it's an interesting look for both the futures, individual names as well. I think a little bit deceiving, perhaps. We had such a dramatic sell-off in the afternoon. The gap to the upside, not really that big in relation. So we'll have a look at a number of names coming up here. Here is what is coming up a little bit later on in the show. That's a great picture of Sean talking about VWAP. Today. We'll dive into a little bit deeper when it comes to how to incorporate VWAP into an actual trading strategy. So lots of great stuff in that video. Also, it is Wednesday. That means that you have to come back and join us at 1 p.m. Right here, guys. We're going to have our Wednesday afternoon recording of educational videos. 1 p.m. talking all about great topics. Join us, won't you? Let's go over to the desk and check in with Miss B. Good morning, Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, everyone. Have a wonderful trading day. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's get it started, guys. We have lots to get through. If you're joining us for the first time, good morning and welcome. We do this every single morning, guys, when the market is open. Sign up for the watch list. Valeria will send the link out in the chat if you haven't already. We send it out every single morning well before we come on at 9 a.m. We spend 9 a.m. to 9:30 then coming up with a game plan, how we're going to trade some of these names. Palantir, yeah, let's talk about PLTR, recent IPO last week on the NYSE, of course. They disclosed a couple of big sales as far as shares go from both the CEO and COO in an SEC filing aftermarket yesterday. The bigger story here, 9% move yesterday, kind of shook off that afternoon sell-off. We're gapping further to the upside here, guys, for PLTR.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting, but obviously, like, not everything is going to follow the market directly. So shaking off that sell-off, not too surprising. There was a great break here, and I know Sean had this one on Palantir, and for 3 or 4 days in a row, 3 days in a row actually, that 930 level was just so good that you finally get the breakout through that price, and then again through like this 950. I'll be watching 950 on the way back in. That'll be a price to defend. This little upside here that we got to, if you look at the pre-market right now, it's like 1037. I'm looking on that first day. There was, and it's going to be hard to see on the 15, but 1050 was a bit of a level. 11, of course, 1090 to 11, a nice rollover spot. So there is resistance up here. If it gets just a little bit higher, we're already starting to fade back in, which makes me think that 950 could come into play as a support. I want to be long in front of it.
Appreciate some of that love there on Twitter from you guys there. We had an article drop on Benzinga. You guys can check that out. Yeah, what Neil just mentioned there, yeah, yesterday afternoon, I was actually short into $2 or $2. I'm looking at Rave. Into $10 right now. We were short into that, and then it hovered around, dropped a little bit in. Made a little bit of money there, but then when it broke through, yeah, we waited for this 1020. 1020's come into play a couple times here. Then we were able to get that short on, and then, yeah, the rest is history. We made some money off that short and made back what we were short before through 10. So we're going to stay a little more patient with this one. We're looking at this rate here, guys. 1020. I mean, I know this looks silly because it's a week old, but 1020 here was the top. You wicked as high as 1028, so that's kind of a good sign there that 1020 will hold. And then 1020 yesterday holds. It holds at 1018. I was short 1017, just luck. And then right here, 1037 today. So I'm going to go long if we do break above 1020, but I do think that playing into the short, probably a good idea. Look at this imbalance, 34. That's actually 340,000. Let me call up the imbalance locator quickly, Brendan, before I throw it back to you. It's NEO and Palantir and not a whole hell of a lot else. So we'll talk about those two stocks. NEO's not on our watch list, but we'll get to that. Palantir as well, 745,000. Not huge, but it's just, 75%. It's only done 1 million shares so far. We like Palantir today, guys.
Yeah, it's funny. It seems like NEO is at or near the top of that list almost every single day. Yeah, let's we'll take two on this. Have a look at what's coming up at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Great topics to discuss this afternoon. How to trade penny stocks, those sub-dollar names that can do all kinds of volume, all kinds of liquidity. We'll discuss that. Top 5 habits of successful traders. Our A-plus trading strategy is going to be handed over to you, and how to trade the open. And the last one there, market sell-off. We'll talk about how to approach a negative market or weakness in the actual market a little bit later on as well. So there you go. Yeah, 1 p.m., guys. Make sure you come back and join us right here. Let's continue along. DraftKings, the next one. We talked about the share offering. I think it was Thursday last week, Wednesday or Thursday of last week. They came out and said they were considering this. They have now priced said share offering, 16 million Class A shares at $52, guys.
So, okay, so the thing about DraftKings is you guys know that I'm long that name. Should have got some out, obviously, at $60. But the problem with this is, obviously, they priced it at $52. It looks like it'll be a good price. When they announced it, it went up that day, but now we have the price. And obviously, when you come from 56, you release it at $52. It's $1.6 billion. Look, I'm more concerned, guys, really, about the NFL season. We just had right now another Patriot, one of their best players, one of the best players in the league. That's Stephon Gilmore, also testing positive for COVID. They also have Cam Newton there. More Tennessee Titans players, Neil, now testing positive as well. Okay, Rave, I see you. Rave going back down, nice little short there. Yeah, so I think DraftKings is in trouble for many reasons, not just the fact that it's a stock-related reason with the offering and the pressure to the downside, but you do also have now, I feel like, the NFL season. Not that it's going to get canceled or anything, but the more it's in limbo, the more the stock's going to be affected, right? College football could be next, NFL, NFL, and then if that cracks, then we may have to wait until NBA gets started again, NHL, Major League Baseball. They're all finishing right now, right? So no NFL, no good for DraftKings, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, that 52 price, I mean, you're going to see it fall right into there. And that's not uncommon whatsoever to see it drop right into that price. And maybe it'll be kind of like gravity in towards that price every time it gets away from it potentially. If we're looking for downside, if it were to break, I'm actually watching like a 47 to 49 area if we fall any further. As far as upside goes, it sort of sticks out like a little bit like a sore thumb. We'd had this move here from 55 to the last $10 of the upside moved to 55. There was a breakout there. So I like that level. If we can get back into it, I'm probably going to be a seller in front of it on any kind of a spike in DraftKings. Otherwise, it's a few dollars below that you got to watch out for. In between, I'm also watching this like 53.65 area. And this was just, you go back to the 25th, the nice hard consolidation right below that price before a bit of a jump off. So I might have to start a short position a little bit earlier. That would be where it would start at 53.65 if it looks really weak.
One of the groups that was hardest hit yesterday with that move down in the market was anything travel related. Obviously, the airlines have been desperately waiting for some sort of aid when it comes to payroll support for the past few weeks and months. So we saw big moves in all the airlines and cruise lines as well. So we'll have a look at some of the travel stocks this morning. They did get a little bit of help coming in this morning, obviously, after Trump came out and said that he was still in favor with some sort of aid package that will help both the airlines and travel-related industries. So some of the airlines, guys, a little bit positive, but not so much as the cruise lines at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this will show you right here, just sort of going to the higher time frame, exactly what happened. I mean, American Airlines dumped a full dollar right into this like 1250 level before reversing, and there was obviously some consolidation previously at that level. Ignore this wick; it didn't trade down there. That's just a dark pool print. What I'm looking at is to see if we can actually hold above this 1290. And as I said, there's a couple levels we can look at in addition to that 1290 area. I'm also watching above here, this like 1315 to 1320 area for potential breaks. Any trade that I put on, immediately the second I'm into one of these travel names, whether it's a cruise line or the airlines, it's like a stop is going to go in. And the reason no area stops but hard stops is just simply because you look at these wicks. You look at these moves that happen, and these are most of the times it's like 1 or 2 minutes where I just don't want to get caught in that. If it's not part of your trade to hold through an announcement that it could come through, then you want to make sure you have a stop to make sure you protect yourself there. And obviously, we're not necessarily anticipating anything today, but you really never know.
So, Brendan, you might want to have this. Apparently, I guess, I don't know if that just happened or not, but Trump says move fast. He's ready on that 1200. I know you guys talked about that already. So, yeah, I do like that. If CCL and those checks go out, I mean, how crazy, honestly, like how crazy do you have to be if you get a $1,200 check and you run out and you right away and book a cruise for that? I mean, that's not obviously what these checks are for, but hey, we are a consumed nation, so the more that money we have, the more we tend to spend it, whether or not that's true or not. Start saving, guys, out there. But anyways, CCL, if it goes to the top, look, it needs to break 16 or I'm not interested. So I like selling into 16 top, 16, whether or not you're 15.90 or 16 even, you're pretty close. I don't think the economy is anywhere near what the market thinks it is, so I'm selling everything.
All right, guys. It looks like it's going to be another active day for President Trump on Twitter, just tweeting out a minute or so ago directly at Nancy Pelosi, too, which is kind of interesting, that he's ready to sign a stimulus bill that will send out a $1,200 check immediately to everyone. So we'll see if that gets anywhere a little bit later on. Let's continue along here, guys. We'll move down to the next one, which is Levi Strauss. Earnings report from Levi Strauss. IPO last year was an interesting IPO when it did come out, but the company saw a 52% jump in online sales during the pandemic hit quarter, so it was better than expected, both per share and revenue, beating expectations for Levi. This stock has kind of gone to sleep recently, but lots of volume here in the pre-market this morning for Levi.
I mean, it already ran up 50% going into this earnings number. And like when you said it was to sleep, look at this level at 12 even. It just hung out here basically, the second half of the summer into the fall before this little ramp up to 50%, right back into this 17 level. So it's going to be difficult not to look at this and say it's a little bit overbought. Maybe if there's a consolidation, you get a secondary push, it gets you back to some of the prices from pre-pandemic. But I think it's probably going to have to get through this level first at 17. It got to like 80s or maybe like 75 or so. So it's rather close to that breakout. First shot for me is just going to be simply saying, if we can get some kind of a gap fill here, it's perfectly reasonable. A couple of ways to do that is immediate failure off the top at 1680 or 16 or 17 even, or you can catch a little bit of break, right here at the 1635 mark where there was a little bit of a pivot that turned in post-market action at that price. So breaking down there could give you a breakout entry. For Levi's, 500,000 shares, which is what it's at in volume, is pretty solid. And it's probably the only time that I would look to trade this, or any of us would probably look to trade this, is going to be after earnings. So it's kind of like today or bust.
I almost put on some Levi's this morning and decided to go with these crazy maroon pants. But Levi's right now up 12.5%. And I do have a couple pairs of Levi's. Love the jeans. $17 was high back in June. We ticked up there a couple times. You can see right here. And now we're right back at that level. So yeah, I kind of like it. If we break through this 1680 right here, 1656. Remember, relatively new company, recent IPO. These things can move. You can see Smile Direct. You see a bunch of other stocks that I've been on as well for you guys. And yeah, Levi's just another one of those names. I do like it through 1680. I mean, it was a better report than expected, and that doesn't happen too often these days. So let's hit Levi's. Pull up those jeans and buckle up.
All right, guys, let's go to Netflix next here. Boeing on the list, the FAA coming out with new regulations as far as training is concerned for pilots on the 737 MAX jet. Which was seen as a big kind of landmark in getting that thing back in the air. So Boeing on the list as well. But I want to make sure we get to Netflix here. Gapping higher this morning, Pivotal Research raising their price target to a street high $650. Not a heck of a lot of volume in the pre-market for Netflix, but one that's kind of been quietly sticking around here the past couple of days.
If you can get it back to 505 there where it closed. I mean, it's just right now, Netflix, 650 is not even that high of a target. I'm actually surprised that's the kind of the target they have on that. I thought it could get higher than that. Yeah, I was looking at yesterday. We had some consolidation here in this area, 510 to 505. That's kind of the area of concern for me down here. I'd love to get long if we can get it down there. But the problem is here, market's going up. And honestly, if there's more checks coming out and the economy seemed to be going, then Netflix probably goes southbound. I mean, this is a stay-at-home play. We keep talking about that over and over again. So I'm not in love with this trade. However, yesterday's high before it started to tank, and it didn't even go down that much when Trump started speaking, but I guess from 517 down to 505. But you do have some areas up here of a little bit of concern, 520. So if this upgrade's for real and we get to 520, then hey, we'll go along with it. And it's not that far away. So look out for a little bit of a bump here on the open. NASDAQ already moving a little bit here.
Yeah, and just a couple of bucks above that, like 522 was sort of a recent top as well. You go a couple of sessions ago. So there might be a $5-ish type of scalp, if you want to call it that, through like 517, 15. That's where the top was before the Trump tweet there. And then if you get through those prices, like Sean said, that 520, I mean, you're immediately running into this top here at 530. So there's some scalp style trades to the upside. But in terms of a really good, bigger term buying opportunity, you're probably going to be all over it if it gets down to like 505 again.
All right, guys, yeah, let's go to, speaking of the NASDAQ, let's have a look at Apple here before we get to Arun and have a look at the overall market. The U.S. House antitrust investigation, an accompanying 449-page report that came out yesterday, aftermarket, I believe it was, when it was finally released, basically said none of these companies, the big name tech companies, the antitrust report obviously, should be broken up, or any proposed or potential mergers should be blocked. Everything is fine, although Facebook and Amazon were kind of pointed out and named as potential monopoly, both on the social networking side and the online retail marketplaces. But overall, it seemed like a bit of a non-event.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Just keep bringing out these legislations and these reports. Let's just keep bringing these stocks down so we can load up the wheelbarrow and just put them back in there. Because honestly, man, where's the wheelbarrow? There it is. I just hope that this can be flying out with stock one day. And yeah, look, Apple, whatever, man. I mean, you're up 1.3%. This is all that I'm worried about with Apple. I have zero fears about anything Apple is doing moving forward. In my opinion, there's not a company with more revenue streams, more potential, more anything out there than Apple. And if there is one, please put it in the chat. But right now, 116, that's the top. Look at the drop down. It goes all the way down to 112. And what I was saying is the only risk in Apple is the market itself. It's such a high beta. They're in every single index all across the world. So ETFs get hit, Apple gets hit, everything gets hit. So on a market rebound, hell yeah, we'll take Apple long, man. And we like it in this area here. If it gets to 115, let's take a little tester long and see if we can break through 116, but back it up on Apple if you can, guys.
Yeah, and just to jump to one of the other names, Facebook here had actually, when you look at that little drop that happened, that 265 had been resistance on Facebook anyways when the market started falling off. So let's keep that one in your back pocket. But there is obviously a potential for us to get back through this little 261 area and then sort of scalp into that 265 range. So you look at some of that consolidation range. I don't necessarily think, unless it's a crazy day in the markets, you're going to necessarily get a breakout and something like a Facebook or any of those any of these names. But if it gets back into that chop territory from a few sessions ago, no reason why you can't test that high, and that makes it a worthwhile entry point, guys. So I'm going to like Facebook if we can get above that 261. I'm definitely going to fade it or at least get out in front of 65 no matter what, given what we've seen in the last couple of days.
All right, guys, lots of little teeny tiny ones moving around again this morning. Want to make sure we talk about some of the clean energy names that we've been looking at over the past couple of days. Yesterday's huge mover, that WWR, they're in the lithium mining space, back to the downside. Everything else, including Sunworks, which didn't really go yesterday, higher today. So interesting to see this WWR, Westwater Resources, was lower. You can see we're back to positive here, but definitely a little bit weak compared to the rest of this group.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to stand out. I know we were obviously trading this one rather heavily. And it's this sort of 1280 to 13 area that's going to be on watch for me, at least, going into yesterday's session. There's a potential that maybe it's just going to lag and you get like a breakout. But 1450, that was on watch. Brendan, you said it the first day. I know we reiterated it all morning long. No matter how many times it popped up here, you got to watch out for that. I think there's room if it goes through 13 still. So all shorts would have a stop. But the first test, if it can't break through, I think there's a short opportunity. This one, however, because it is lagging a bit, I would take a shot long 13, seeing if it can't test that 1450. All bets are off if it gets above that price. To the downside, I don't really have anything too firm. We talked about 1050 rather briefly. It seems like it's a level that held previously. I will not be going long on a dip in WWR anyways.
Yeah, WWR. Do you just want to go to the next one, Rave here, Brendan, quickly?
Yeah, sure. That is even smaller. So yeah, micro cap here, guys. Rave Restaurant Group, pizza chain operator. The only news on this company is really they hired 2 executives to focus mainly on franchise expansion and developing the franchise side of the business here. So yeah, Rave, R-A-V-E on the NASDAQ. It was 300%, but trying to hold the bottom end here.
I don't know. We don't have any rave restaurants or pizza chains or anything like, I guess not a chain yet, here in Canada. So let me know if it's any good. But for now, we're short. We shorted here early, took some profit, shorted again at VWAP, and now back down in the money. We're short $2.14. It has a long ways to go. 50 cents yesterday. News comes out. They're looking at franchise opportunities. Look, great idea, man. I mean, look what happened to Chipotle and so on and so forth. But I don't know much about the company, so I'm not going to sit here and say anything. But if you're just a pizza chain, there's already a lot of franchises out there. I think this kind of bump up might be something to do with, you know, what's happened in Five Guys and some of these other companies that have gone crazy. But I don't know if they have anything unique or not. So we're just going to short this. And then obviously 240 or so is going to be my out. I'm not going to give it to the top here. Even though the top's only 250, I'm going to give it to 240. Just don't need to lose a whole bunch of money on something I don't know about. But we will go short and make that money now. So we'll hold on to this one.
Yeah, the only difference I have is I'm sort of eyeballing this 220 to 225 area on the daily chart as a first out. If it takes off the top, there was $3, which was a big level above that, like 360, 360 almost exactly. So if we ever get back there, the fact that it already failed so hard, that's one of the reasons to like the short. But I'm going to give it a tighter stop. I know pre-market, some of these, they make that first move off of the open, and then the re-entry can be the best trade. So I'm eyeballing this 240, and just in case there's a chance to get a better price on RAVE. Like Brendan said, it's a really small one, but it's already done 8 million shares in volume. So the volume and liquidity is definitely there.
About 8 million on the market cap on RAVE. Let's go to Arun here. We'll have a look at the futures. Going to be an interesting day. Arun, we saw that big move down yesterday. What do you, I guess, normally do when we get that expanded kind of range and expanded kind of levels after what we've been dealing with over the past week or so?
You know, when you get a move like yesterday, it just kind of clears the board, right? And then you allow the market to declare the new levels that are set up. A move like that essentially wipes out all the stops that were sitting, and any stops that were sitting below those stops, kind of it just essentially clears the board. So now, after trading overnight and in the late half or right towards the close yesterday, I'm starting to notice that maybe between 80, where we are at now, 80 and 95. So into this area, I think there's a little bit of action that we can potentially sell into. I want to see how the open reacts around here. If there's enough sell side action at the open, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a short with 95 as a stop. It has to be, like for me, it has to be a good quality short for me to take that shot, because we are in an upward move so far. Pretty much since midnight, we're in an upward move. So for me to take that shot, I definitely have to see enough. I do think this is the area to do it if that trade sets up. Of course, the bottom ends, right, are 34. Top end is 34.25, and the bottom end is what, 33.30. So those are the two edges at the top end. And inside, I'm looking between 80 to 95 for the short potential. No longs yet. Keep in mind, though, today is also a Fed minutes, right? That could also shake up the game again, depending on what we see or what people decide to play or the machines decide to play. Because the thing with the Fed is the first reaction is always program based. And then we kind of settle in, and then it's either a correction for the programs or then human involvement to kind of reset the programs. So that will definitely be something in play later on today. So there's a lot to watch out for later, but be aware that Fed minutes will change the game if there's something that the programs see or keywords in there that they base it off of, and we may have another sharp move like we did yesterday.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Yeah, Fed minutes, the release coming up this afternoon. So we're kind of, grinding, as you saw on Arun's chart there, back to the upside as more and more kind of positivity comes out as far as headlines are concerned. Got to watch those headlines, I think, today, though. Givo, real quick, 9.75%. We're already coming back to the downside here. This is $1. We finished yesterday at $1. We talked about the CEO appearing at a fireside chat of Water Tower Research. Coming up today. So he's going to be speaking today about the company's future plans and growth strategies coming up, guys.
Thanks out there, Brendan. One from yesterday, I just want to quickly jump back. We have like 2 minutes to go here, but PPSI, I know a lot of you guys were trading and watching this high flyer. It did start to come back in the afternoon there. 450 did get held. It's bouncing above that price, so it looks like it's going to be the support levy that could, if it breaks, could come all the way back in. But up again today, and as Brendan mentioned, most of these names are trading to the upside, with the exception of, WWR trying to get back up as well. I'm watching 650 for a potential squeeze to the upside, and then 450 is a level of support on PPSI for those of you that are interested.
Yeah, guys, I mean, I loaded the boat up on Square on the way down, and it was like embarrassingly low prices that we were able to get, and I've been selling it in my own account all the way up here. I love this company. I think it's moving great. Not much else to say, but look at this drop. Like, I didn't even notice this yesterday afternoon. I wish I would have. I was on AMD again, but 181.50, guys. It dropped $10 down to 172 and change. So I'm back. I like this little break here. That's where we were before the dance started with President Trump. So we'll wait to see 181.50. We'll take out the stick and hit that one. So get ready. That could Damn it, I don't want this to come before the market opens because then I'll get squashed. Let me actually just cancel that order just in case. I thought when we were down here, I was like, it's not going to get, there it goes, look at that. See, so we got to watch out for 180, 150. I don't want to get in until the market opens. So that's one that we're going to be watching for sure. I just got to make sure I don't forget. So that's Square. Don't let me forget that, guys, hopefully. And $53 DraftKings, we said that was probably going to be coming on its way back. I did like a break of $52.50. I put $51.50 as some support in the watch list there, so you can find that on Twitter and our watch list as well. But $51.50 looks like support. And then 53, it looks like we're touching that right now. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, DraftKings on the way back up. So we're going to keep our ear to the ground about NFL news. But other than that, man, everything's all good. Palantir as well, Neil, as you know.
Yeah, and watch out. Levi's making a run at that top. And I know it's at 1680 right now. You go into that daily chart, there was 17, which does loom ahead. I prefer 17 for a break, as I mentioned, so I might give away that first 20 cents. Otherwise, I'm looking for a failure right here, right now, to trigger me into a short around like the 35 to 40 range. I have Givo, Rave, and then HIL we didn't get to, but we'll cover that small cap. It was on the watch list, guys. Last one on the list, Full International. But 5, 4, 3, 2, and it's a black.
All right, there it is. Thank you.
We were in the green today.
Yeah, Miss V with the hot fire. Okay, we're going to watch
Super hot fire.
Yeah, Palantir making moves down. We still got our locked and loaded up here on Square, but not opened yet. PLTR just breaking through 10, Neil.
Yeah, PLTR making a bit of a move here, guys. Just to keep in mind, Rave is breaking down below that 2. I want to have more than half the position on a 180 break. If this one comes through that price, definitely going to be hanging on to some of it to see if we can get a bigger flush. But already a profitable trade there on RAVE. Just jumping back over to WWR. Anticipated maybe there was going to be a squeeze through 13. As you can see, nope, that's entirely not happening. Just dropped off a cliff. Dollar instantly to the downside. And then halted. So there goes downside trade on WWR. Brennan mentioning right away that it was the only one that wasn't up.
Okay, here goes Square. So our order's in. It's making the moves. Look at Rave, though. Bang! A nice little win here on Rave. Let's make sure we get some more out at 86. We're short at 15 right now. It's come down. Our best out is 95. We don't have any bids until 86, 87. So we'll wait on that one. Go back to the next stock. There it is. Okay, so now we are in Square. Thank God we promised to do that. Let's take some out at 95 if we can get it. And there it is. Boom! A nice little winner on Square so far. Nice little 50 cents. Just took some of that off, guys.
Yeah, and Levi's still yet to open up here, guys. You're seeing it travel in like a 30-40 cent range, bottom to top here. So no break through the high of that 17 that I was looking on the daily chart. It has tried to test the bottom 35 where I was looking to get in, but until I see us open up, no NYSE tick there. So there's no open trade. I want that auction to commence, to close up there and show us that liquidity before getting into this trade. No need to rush into Levi's. Once it opens up, liquidity will be much better.
Okay, Square, yeah, do we get anything up top? I mean, look at this, a big trade to start the day. So I told you it was a big stick, and there it is, so let's go. Palantir all the way to the upside here. Let's not let this one fade out. We did get some shares there long now, so we're hoping Palantir can go, man. We're long at 21 now, but that's that spot that I was looking to fade. So, yeah, maybe I got to get out of some right now just in case this doesn't decide to go up, guys.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just one of those things, got to play smart. On the bottom of our watch list was HIL. They got like it's essentially a risk contract, a construction risk contract that for them is going to be big. I'm going to be fading into this one. It's a small company here, 1.6 million volume, but I'm looking at this $2 area where it failed before. If I can get shorts in front of it, you can see I'm sitting there at 88. I just got some at 82. Already sliding down 10 pennies in the money, but it's this bottom break I want, 168. 25 cents from here where I got in until yesterday's close. That's probably the max win that I'll be looking for in HIL, but already working in the money. Wanted to quickly get that one to you guys because there's plenty of these names today. This one, of course, was on the watch list. Just had to scroll down, guys.
Yeah, I'm still trying to go here on Palantir, but it's not going. So we did get out of some of our shares, and we'll get out of some more at 12s, 11s. Just didn't go. It's fine. It's not a big hit at all. It's just we're waiting for it. So I got to wait for this one now. We did get some out at 25 there. That was a nice out for sure, but that's all. And it went up. It broke through 20. We got some out at 25. I just took some out at 11 again. Now we're bouncing around, man. Look at the liquidity. Neil, this thing's dropping and ripping like, I don't know, 10 cents at a time. You got to watch out your share size on this one, guys.
I'm going to remember this because every single time we've seen this before, Sean, there's been an opportunity when it drops into any kind of support or pops into any resistance to just start scalping the trade. So I'm going to eyeball this $10 level and just take my first crack If I do see it drop down really quickly into that 10, I'm going to pick up some shares and see if I can't scalp it into the 15, 20 range. But if that top goes off here and I'm looking at this 25 to 30 mark, that could be the breaking point on Palantir. But I'll try a dip buy if I can get it when that vacuum tries to open up there.
Yeah, so far Square's been really good, man. Square back to the upside, bang, bang, bang. Good trade there for Square, Superman there. We start our day off right on Square. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And look at Rave, baby. That's 30 cents in the money. So it's a big day already, guys. It's 9:34. Brendo.
Peck, guys, another one in the clean energy space here, gapping up big time this morning. They picked up a new contract in Rhode Island. Just reading about that. Just broke to the downside, though. It was very strong here through 1250. Broke downside. Looks like it might want to fade this one, guys.
There goes Levi's. It finally opens up here. I got some shares in front of 50
Levi's?
right on the open. I got some more shares when it took out that 35 bottom. So we're going to get an average price close to 40 here. Work this one down to 16. This is a gap fill type of play. I showed you guys in the daily chart. This is the level that I was hoping it would fail at. Rave just halted downside, and I'm still in maybe 40% of the position. So it's halted down. That's a good thing. Levi's, I'm looking to see if it can test back towards like 15.20 at some point today. It ramped up going into earnings. This is a pure gap fill. If it's going to be below that 16.80 to 17, I'm going to still be in the short side trade in Levi's.
Yeah, hells yeah to the Rave there. Good trade there. We're holding on to that one and still in it. So hopefully that can come through. Levi's, we're going to take it long if it goes through 16.50. We'll just try that. But right now, Palantir, guys, back to 25. So far right now, that's working out a little bit. Barbecuing some shares up here today as it just continues to be good for us. We'll see if it can break through 25. I do like the long through 30 as well. And sorry, Greg, I should have bought some of this at 9.50 yesterday. What a mistake that was. But here we go back to the upside. Take a little bit more off here, 25. Like I said, if we can get it, there it is. Bang, nice little win there. Long 21s. Let's go more long if it breaks through 30B.
C Limited, guys. SE in New York, 4.5% here. This is all-time highs for this software company. UBS with an upgrade on SE, guys.
Definitely worth adding that to the list. We've traded that one before. I'm looking at this 1030 area as well here, Sean. It's not the actual pre-market high, but on Palantir, even dollar levels have been good, and that seems like the way to go. So you round basically everything. If I can catch a break, that's one way. The other one is I'm still going to long any kind of a dip, 10, 15 cents at a time. That's been a good trade for scalping, probably since it's actually opened up here and had some stability to it. So let's watch some Palantir. I need to get you guys back over to Levi's. I did take a little bit of a profit out in that one, so we'll try to slay that dragon. That's still Palantir, sorry, apologies. Levi's, I did take some out. Remember, I had two entries here. One was right as it opened up. I was fortunate enough to get some 49s. I just took those out for a 30-cent win, but this was that bigger sort of trade off of that 35 level that I wanted short. And this one, you got to give it more room. So if I think it's going down $1, I'm giving this one up to that 16.80, so kind of like a 2-to-1 win-loss ratio. Two separate trades. There was the scalp off the open, but this one I'm anticipating holding a little bit longer in Levi's.
I'm trying to give Square some hell here because it's just ripping upside, and we don't have that many left. But still a nice little trade, obviously, on Square, as you guys can see. So we'll see if we can't make some love happen on that. It's already a huge cash. So that was the big stick. And again, I'm trying to get you guys to know when we're using that. And I think that that was a good example today on Square. I told you 180, 150. We wanted that one to load up, and then we wait on it. So Palantir does drop, Neil, but I didn't get anything long. I think we got to sit on VWAP here. We're still long at 21 right now. On Palantir, so it's having a problem with 25. I like this hell of a lot more through 30 now than I do right here.
Yeah, I'm definitely not aggressive enough on those dips. I think it's like 10, 10, 10, 15s as far as it's going to go. 30 break I'll take. I'm going to start moving bids probably into that 20 range as well. 15 to 20 I think is probably going to have to be the spot. I did mention another one to you guys, and I'm going to go with some backflip action for the watch list on Hill, getting some out of that, but Palantir just broke 30, so I'm going to trigger into this little bit of a long. We'll scalp it a little bit to the upside. You got to be able to take 5, 10, 15 cents on this name, just given the way that it trades and the liquidity that it has. But when it gets going, these level breaks are fantastic. And it's worth keeping in mind. Let's go back to the daily. Not a heck of a lot till you get to like 1090. So obviously 1050 every time. That quarter and 50 mark matters on this stock, it seems like. But if we get through that, hey, let's go to 1090, guys.
1090, hells to the yeah. Let's go, Bren.
Airlines were on the watch list, guys, along with the rest of the travel group here. Had a volume alert there through to just about 13. I guess that high there got taken out right off the bat for AAL. So initial weakness, but coming back to the upside, guys.
Okay, AAL, yeah, good one there. I'm still enamored here with Palantir because we have 30s, we have 25. I mean, bang, 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 bang. These are just all getting out small, hoping that we could get some more at 10.05. But boom, to the upside goes Palantir right now. So we're long at 31s right here. So good little trade there, up to 42. I mean, Neil, if you're right here, man, giddy up. I will take that 1090, baby.
I think we got to watch for 50. I'm going to be taking off at least 80% of the position in front of 50, and then looking for a 50 break, looking for a dip buy. Previous breakout price is going to be all kinds of support for me. So anywhere from 25 to 30, I'm going to be buying a dip. Through 1050, I'm going to be buying a break. So there's all kinds of reason to take some profit off. In that case of that dip, then I can just buy more shares into it. Now remember, Rave is halted here and should open up literally any second now. So I'm still in this position to the short side. So got to watch out. Make sure it does have, if it's below $2, I'm feeling okay about it, but I don't want it to open up higher and scare me. But 1050 on Palantir, I can't take my eyes off it. Got to make a call at that level, how much we want to add, or I want to add to that position if it breaks through.
Yeah, I'm trying to still hold on to as much as I can, but at the same time, I'm rinsing this out. So hopefully, and by rinsing, I just mean getting out of some of the Palantir. So we're going to wait on that one. We took multiple, a big share position anyways, but we've already talked about why we like that. So Luck and Coffee.
Sean, Rave back open. Rave is back open, and for now, at least, it looks like it's to the downside. So this is going to be good activity. I will take some more shares out. I don't see how you don't.
Yeah.
But look, it was a 50-cent stock, and that's one thing we forgot to mention, I think. 50 pennies is what this stock was yesterday. If you go to the higher time frame, I'm looking at this level, 125. That's where I think it could ultimately get to on a slide. 150 has to break first. I'll take shares off on the way down. But the first leg in front of 180 is done. The next leg out in front of 150 we'll be taking out, and then trying to hold that last 20% for 125. Rave, when it halts in the favor like that for you, you got to be happy with it. Levi's now testing 16 even, so that's 30 pennies in the money. And I'm looking for a big, there's the break on Levi's. Sorry to have the Rave chart up here. Lots to watch here, and all of them, man, they're all on the watch list.
So much to watch.
What a great watch list it was this morning. But there's the break on Levi's. Talked about the fade here. Nothing against them, but they ran up so far going into those earnings before the announcement. It was a sleepy stock at 12, right into that 17 level. That's going to spell fade for me all day long. We got the nice winner here on Rave, but even better, Rave, even better maybe is going to be Levi's if it gets to 15. Brennan, what do you got, bud?
Vaccine news, guys. Vaxart, VXRT, just saw. Looks like they're teaming up with Kindred Biosciences to manufacture their potential COVID-19 vaccine. So still trying to expand the capacity as far as manufacturing is concerned. 2.5% here for VXRT, guys.
Okay, so Palantir, man, from cruising to now bruising, all the way back down here. Let's take another couple shares if we can get it long on this rebound back high side here for Palantir. So we got to make sure that we can get out of some of these trades. We did not get, we did get some more long, so that's a good trade. We're going to hold on to that one, guys, and see what we can do with Palantir here going long.
Yeah, I just want to update you guys. Rave just got a double leg out here at 155. So that's pretty much everything I'll take off in front of 150 is done. I'm going to trail my stop here. Previously, as mentioned, we talked about 225 and 240. Throw those out the window. You can use $2, but I'm going to use this 180 for a trail just to make sure we lock in 25 to 35 pennies on this Rave trade. So it's a nice short, but still have room to that 125 mark. Has to get through 150 first. I've already scalped off what I can in this range. We have to look a little bit lower than this for the ultimate target. Levi's is holding 16, so I took some shares off in front of it. Now we're holding for a bigger flush on Levi's. But both those names looking fantastic. Brendan, got another one for us?
A couple days in a row here for Bloom Energy. BE, another 6% here. Just took out that high from yesterday on a big-time volume spike. Another one from the renewable energy space, guys.
Guys, I mean, Rave, like hell's to the yeah. Boom! It's a big one. I mean, where are the losers today? Square, 65 cents in the money. Rave, 60 cents in the money. Palantir now, 12 cents, 13, 14, 15 cents in the money. I mean, what a great day this has been so far. I hope you're riding with us, man. It's just one of these kind of days. We're just bringing it back in. Let's see if Palantir can take out 50 again. Man, we're all over this stock today. What a fantastic day it's been. Boom! Palantir. What a reload, man. 10.17. I just marketed in when we saw this drop off, and bang, now reaping those rewards. I don't hit market keys often, but when I do, I guess we're happy with this kind of result.
So that was you. I was looking at that 15 to 20 area for the dip buy. So fortunately, I happened to get in on the way down. So when it took it out, I was actually getting some shares in here. I'm going to take some out in front of 1050 again. I'm going to rinse and repeat this. I feel like if it wants to be a resistance, fair enough. We've seen this party before. This story for you before on Palantir. Take shares off when you get an opportunity to scalp it, because 1050 could be a break on its own. Maybe even shorting in front might be an opportunity there on Palantir. But if you can do this game, why not play it? Buy the dip, buy the break at 1050, sell in front of that resistance. It feels like it's not an easy trade, but the structure of it, easy to be disciplined is kind of the way I want to put it there. I want to quickly jump back over to Levi's, just because that 16 level that held, it did get a little break here. I took some shares out on the south side of it, so still hanging on to half the position. And this is what I want here. 1550 next target to the downside. And if you can fill in more of the gap, get us back down to where it was on the breakout 15. It got bought up into earnings, so this wasn't the entire move. It was moving for a week before that. Brennan, what do you got?
This is another rare earth type of play here, guys. AREC on the NASDAQ, 152%. It's already halted once there at 380. Huge volume spike on the reopen. They're in the lithium game, guys.
All right, okay, good call there. Oh, lithium. Okay, well, we know that's really popular right now. Bang, there it is. We'll take out the last little bit. It's a spicy meatball there for Square. As we take some out, now it's probably going to run to the high side, but what a great trade that was, man. My biggest stock today, Square. Rave is actually, well, they're all, actually, Palantir is if I get out, but Palantir, Rave, Square. It's always nice when you look down and you're not sure which one is your best stock of the day, just how much they're popping off right now. So that's a good one. We do have some more Palantir out again at 40. Just ding, 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 all the way to the upside. What a great stock this has been, man. We're looking to pick some up in our own account at some point. Can't do it now because we're trading, but I do like Palantir. Here comes back down to the downside. So we're still long some at 18 right here. Let's try to cash a little bit more as it doesn't look like it wants to break through 40 right here, guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look at this AREC here. I see some people mentioning it in the chat. I want to thank you, Russell, for bringing it to my attention. It's already had one upward halt, and I've not been tracking this until literally right now. 25 million shares. Volume is absolutely through the roof. Look, anytime you see this, you got to see where it failed before. So it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, $5. If for some reason it can turn around here, and the way it's going parabolic, it doesn't seem like it's going to. It's got so much juice to the upside. That would be the first point of, I would say, profit taking if you're long. If you haven't done so already, is $1.63. You're looking at 300%. You're looking at a level right here on the daily chart that we're running into at 5, where there could be some serious resistance, and some people holding the bags might want to run to the exits at that price. So I would stay away from it until we either break through, get a halt to the downside. Firmly on the radar now, AREC. Thank you guys in the community for bringing that to our attention.
AREC, yeah, firmly on right now. And yeah, Brendan giving some names. I'm going to try to work out some more here on Palantir just to make sure. Rave, okay, our best outs here, 55.50s. We're basically flat. I guess I can cancel my upside out for that one. It doesn't look like that's going to have to worry about it. So Rave, number one stock here so far. Palantir is going to be when we get out in Square. Also a big bad boy for you as well today on that one. Give us another one.
COTY. We haven't talked about this one for a while, but nice move here, 9% straight to the upside. It was Jefferies increasing their price target and talking about the possible recovery for this name, guys. So daily chart doesn't look great, but the past couple of days moving back higher for COTY.
Yeah, Cody.
I guess Cody.
Kardashian's not having an effect on that one. Okay, coming back to the downside, I don't have any bids on Rave. I do have an offer at 25. I guess I can cancel that. I'm looking for down here, man. 130, 140. Just a matter of getting greedy at this point. We're already short at $2.17. So Rave already with what I don't know, 50% return. Who knows? But there it is. Just keep coming, cash cow, and we'll keep. Look at it, 148. Neil, do you still have any on this thing?
I'm still holding some. Like I said, once 150 breaks, I'm going to trail it out and probably in 3 or 4 legs down to 125. Just happen to see it on the daily chart. I want to bring another one to our attention here. I'm old, so obviously that means I know who Howard Stern is, but he just re-upped with Sirius Satellite, guys. $120 million a year, so there was some talk of him talking to Spotify. That never went through. It's still fading off of this. It gapped into like 595.3. Not normally a mover, but it does great volume. If it does pull back into this 575 range, could be some support. It tends to have a tight range, so scalping is the way to go on Sirius Satellite. I just think if it pops back down into 575, we might actually have an actionable trade.
Okay, and yeah, Palantir, as I said, we're just getting out of that one, so let's look at something else. What about Tesla right now? Tesla bounces off that 410 yesterday, and I know Matt Murphy, I know you're all over that stock as well, and thank you for the continued love. I was giving you guys 410 areas as levels of support, and that's exactly what happened. So hopefully you're able to get some options there, Matt, or whoever was down there on this drop down at 410. It basically held 410. I mean, sure, it went to 405. I mean, this was quite the puke, but comes right back back 415, holds 415, drops again, gives you a chance in the aftermarket, and then today it goes, oh yeah, 410, forgot about that level, now all the way back to 420. So a nice little move upside on Tesla. So hopefully some of you were able to catch that. If it comes back down near 412-ish, I'll be on to that one. AMD yesterday, we caught some winners and losers on this one. My biggest losing stock yesterday was AMD. So why am I going back to the well? Who knows? But let's just zoom this back out a little bit here on a 1-minute chart. High yesterday, 86.41. This is when we went short. Actually, was pretty good. And now you're looking to take out the top. But up 3%, seems like it's too high for me right here, guys.
I want to make a correction here, and I'm not going to take any credit for this because it's all Brendan. He's just being so nice that he tells me in the side so that I don't look like an idiot, but I do. It's actually how they're near to a deal. They've been talks for a while, but it looks like they're nearing 120 million. I don't know. The fact that it didn't work with Spotify or hadn't gotten anywhere makes it seem like he's likely to go back to Siri. Siri doesn't move a heck of a lot, though, guys, so make sure you watch key levels on that one for any kind of support. I'll quickly jump you guys back to Levi's just to go back into this trade. A lot of times in this type of a setup, this might be where I'd reload. But because this entry point, I wanted to give a lot more room to the high of the day, that's not a reload for me, only bouncing back 20 or 25 cents. So either it's going to give a bigger flush or maybe test a little bit higher than this before I would jump into more short in Levi's. And if it ever breaks 17, that's where I like that breakout long today, tomorrow, next week, whenever it happens on Levi's. But it's got to be 17. Brennan, what do you got?
Just checking on Fastly, guys. Not seeing anything at this point, but FSLY, huge move here, 10%. Straight higher from the open, 101 up to 110. All in the straight line for Fastly, guys.
Ooh, Fastly. That's look, I got some Fastly at 75 or something in the long-term account, and I know we told you guys about that one off of some TikTok action. So, okay. Neo, TikTok's one of their biggest, not competitors, customers. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Neo right here does its typical moves. I got to zoom out a little bit more here for you. Does a typical move off the open and just falls down. It either goes one way or the other off the open pretty hard, settles down, and then we get to figure out what we want to do. But today it actually doesn't look like it wants to do much. 8 million shares. You had a big market on open order of 1.5 million. We've done almost 9 right now. Neo, man, I don't know. I mean, some of these stocks right here just kind of just choppy, to say the least, as I look for more tech stocks to get into. $20.65 the bottom here for Neo. Let's see if we can get down there and then buy it because that was the bottom on this move. Otherwise, 21.25. If that comes in, we'll put the order in and we'll go long 21.25 if that can come through. Palantir, Neil, coming right back down. We dumped almost all of our shares up here. You can see like a madman. I was hitting those keys. It seems like I brought it to your attention at 1040, guys. I said, look, 1040 doesn't seem to want to break. Now we're back down to 1025. So hopefully you're able to clean out some of those shares.
It's got to be some dip buys at that 15 to 20 level, as long as it continues to want to hold, though, guys. But I want to bring your attention to GEVO. So I have a losing stock in the day, and it's going to be GEVO, shorted in front of a 115. It just broke the top, but I'm not talking about the high of the day here at 115. I'm talking about this level from the 29th. So I just reversed into a long trade off of this level break on GEVO. Brennan, what do you got?
I was just going to mention, actually, GEVO, guys. It's 12 p.m. Looks like Central Time. So 12 p.m. Central Time. The CEO going to be talking on that fireside chat about GEVO and their future. So heads up if you are watching that GEVO.
Central. Should always be Eastern time. I'm kidding. I actually didn't realize it was Central Time, so there you go. I want to jump over to AREC. We anticipate, like, it's not, I didn't anticipate this. You guys brought this one to my attention. I had not looked at it, went to the daily charts, showed that 5 level, and thought maybe it was a good place to jump into something. It never quite got there, stalling out at 470, but there's a bit of a turn. It is holding up on this little pullback. So this was the previous halt level upside, like 380. It actually bounces off that on the way down. So that's a bit of a sign of strength. 380 would be a breakdown price for me for a short trade. Otherwise, there's still the chance that it goes parabolic again through $5. So even on a momentum play, $5 seems like it could be a good level break. I wouldn't touch it short until it either fails again shy of that 5 or breaks below that 380. That's AREC over on the NASDAQ.
Everything's kind of going ham, and the one thing I told you guys again, and we'll just keep hitting it for you. CGC, man, I put a tweet out just a couple days ago about how we liked the cannabis space due to the Democrats possibly coming in. I hope some of you picked it up. What's up, Brad?
Netflix, guys, another one from the watch list here. 4% now, just coming up to that 530, which is that last high on the daily chart. So heads up, Netflix, very strong so far.
Yeah, it's actually, Brendan, I said, didn't put the order out again, but we liked it at, and again, if you rewind, it was 5 1/4 that we liked it at. So if you did have that at 5 1/4, you're in the money, $2. I'd look to take it off 530 yesterday, pretty high, or not yesterday, a couple days ago, there was 530 top. So watch out for that if you are long 525. Okay, Palantir, I see you back upside again. It looks kind of silly because I have so many executions. I already have 61 trades on this one. That's how you know that we're taking some decent shares, man. We're getting in and out as much as we possibly can on this one. And Palantir, it just looks ridiculous. I apologize, but maybe I should take my executions off. That's our long. We just got some out there, 25s. It does bounce this time to 35. I got to be more diligent and take some of that out and then wait for a 50 break because right now I've identified that 40 is a spot. So why am I holding on just for an extra 10 pennies? Makes no sense. Let's just basically get out of almost everything. We'll try to hold 10% of Palantir left.
Yeah, I just want to go back over to Hill. I know there's a lot of names that we're watching today. I'm actually find myself in a half a dozen positions. So off the open, Hill was one of them. Sometimes you have to anticipate these little buying opportunities, selling opportunities when there's buying off of the open. Positive news story for them there, getting a small, it's small cap, we're getting a construction contract, but it does fail to get back to that 2 level off the open. I do catch these shares at 82. I was trying to get some in front of 90 as well. I can probably go ahead and cancel those. But here's the march right back to previous close was 157. The next legs will be out in front of that price. I talked about it'll get you like 20 to 25 cents. Maximum return for me is what I'm looking at. That's probably going to come in here in the next few minutes as long as it continues that slide. Brendan, what do you got for me?
Back to the clean energy group. If you're watching that PPSI, did scare you a little bit there at $6, but just halted downside for PPSI, still up 10%, guys.
Yeah, great little trade there on PPSI. That is for damn sure. And look at this one, man. You want to talk about a wheelbarrow through. Look at Rave. Bang, bang. All the way down. So we're super happy and pleased with our Rave position. Just still going down. We're almost out of it. It's not a big deal. I lost on WWR yesterday. Again, it's a different name than Rave, but we talked about that pizza chain looking at a franchise opportunity. That's nice. Let me know once you finally get that going. Down to 144 now to the downside. So a big trade there on Rave. And then the only other one we have on right now is Palantir. Let's check back on Square. Good out on Square, man. I can't do it much better than that. Other than getting the ultimate top of 182.70, but I really hope that you guys took the stick out with me and were able to take at least 70 cents or so on that. It kept bouncing around that area. And look, 70 cents, depending on how many shares you have, that's a chicken dinner winner all day long. So we'll hit that for our first one of the day. And then everything else has been good though, man. Luck and Coffee's on the move as well. I want to talk about that quickly. LKNCY. Shout out to Jeff Mendel, VP over there at OTC Markets. It's just breaking through $5. That's all. It's up. I haven't made much trade. I shorted here, went long. It's basically a flat trade, but watch out. It's pink sheets and it's moving. That's Luck and Coffee, Brendan.
Airlines, guys, still moving back to the upside. Showed you this one earlier. AAL will flip over to UAL. Look at the relative strength here. Cleared this high or a little resistance point from yesterday afternoon already for UAL above 37, guys.
Just going to update you guys. I did get another execution out in the last few legs of this Rave trade. At least for me, going to be right down here in towards that 125 mark. I just went to the daily here and just had a quick little look at a higher time frame, and it was simply we talked about this $2 break. You come down to about this like $1.25 previous resistance on the way up. So if it turns into support, that's why I'll be out of the last shares in front of it. It's not about knowing that it's going to go there, thinking 100%. That's exactly where the move's going to turn. Thank you for the refill, Valeria, on the coffee. We're going to need it today. But that's just my target on Rave for the last little bit. It is heading southbound now, so we'll be all out of that trade. No ideas for any longs in Rave, at least yet. For now, still riding this train to the downside. 125 is my last stop.
Yo, Valeria, thank you. Yo, what up? Okay, here's that 1040 on Palantir. Yeah, I'm sort of with you on Neil, on this one as Rave just continues to go to the downside, man. We're holding it out basically forever, but I'm not going to get back in. I think that trade is one and done for me. Here's Palantir. We did get out just like we said. Oh, these are all shorts because I have an offer up there at 1055. These are all getting cleared. It just shows that on there. They're sells. We are not short Palantir. You can still see me in that trade, so hopefully that's not too confusing for you. But right now, Palantir up to that 1040. I'm watching it. I'm going to go hard again, breaking through 1050. So watch out for that trade, guys.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Palantir goes, like I'm actually taking it all off at this point. It's going to be a 1050 break, or it's going to be a dip into 20 or 25, and then basically everything else is bust. Normally, I would be thinking about shorting it. Off this 1050 level, it just feels rather strong today is the phraseology that I'm going to use. So I'm going to stay away from the short trade, at least for now in Palantir. If it holds this range long enough, we're going to have to participate at some point, just given how good the range trade has been. But it's this 25 area that if we dip down into, I want to have a bid sort of waiting for me down there. And if it ever breaks 10, that's an easy out. Also, look at this like little drop here to 1015. If you're scalping for shorter term or smaller trades, definitely that 10 can be your out instead of waiting all the way to 10 even.
Yeah, you're actually going to see me getting out. I just got out. Now I'm very, very small here on Palantir. So like I said, we're trying to get flat on it, and now is no better time than now probably to get that flat, that short, and get out. Because if you did want to go short on it, now, like I was saying, is probably the time to do that. Not 100% sure though, because I still do like. I know Neil was waiting and waiting for that 1050. I'm not sure about a short now because I really think this action from yesterday as well into today, we are now flat. Well, we still have a small position on Palantir, but we're basically flat on it. And I'm just going to wait for 1050 to break, guys. If that can come true, then great. I do have an offer right here at 45. See if I get a little greedy to get out of the last little bit there. Check back on Apple. I gave you that stock as the best stock in the world. And right now today, it's definitely not trading like that. Just doing nothing, waiting for those stimulus checks to come through so everybody can buy AirPods and iPhones and everything like that. So we'll wait for Apple to come in. But I still need to take out this top 115.30. If the market gets weak, man, short this thing through 114.50. This kind of pre-market bottom, we like that. If the market fades in, I definitely like an Apple short.
Yeah, and just a watch out for American Airlines here. Pennies off of its high, 1309, trying to break that 1310. There might be a bit of a scalp trade into this like 1320 area that I was talking about too. That would be an almost bigger break in my mind, maybe taking you to that 1350. All trades in AAL here, of course, just be careful, ear to the ground for anything. But I'll take a quick little 1310 break, just see if I can't get a scalp to the upside on AAL. 20 I like a little bit better, but I'm not afraid to sort of take both those ideas and run away with them. It's a range round so far, at least in terms of relative to what we've seen the last couple of weeks on AAL. But I would anticipate a bit of a breakout here, and we're rounding out this little top. If it fails to go, I'm going to stay away from the short unless we're below 13 even on AAL.
Okay, yeah, and I wanted to, you talked about AAL. Look at Palantir, Neil, alert, 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 alert.
Yeah, what the hell?
Dude.
Heck.
Yeah, big dude right here right now, so we'll wait to see. I'm surprised, like when you see these kind of guys, that's 400,000 shares on the bid over there on the NYSE, so it's sitting there on the floor of the NYSE, and it's not really making the stock move at all. So they're, oh wow, they are layering
yeah,
bids.
They're not messing around.
That guy got hit on the bid at 38 or 39, whatever that was, and then his brethren showed up here at 35. So now we'll, here we go. Now we'll wait to see. Now he's going to get hit. So yeah, thank God we are out of this Palantir short right now. I'm actually debating going short right now.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like if you short this 35, you basically have that 40 level to work with as well. And it's going to be hard to resist that. A couple of buyers getting, not slaughtered, I don't know, that's the way to call it. If I can get 34s and risk 5 pennies, I'll take a shot. But 10 o'clock, yes. Wow, time to get to happening now with Brendan.
Show up back again.
Oh my gosh, he's back in the bid. I'm getting that.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's get a look at North American markets here real quick. We'll get back to Palantir. Yeah, nicely positive top to bottom here. 1+% moves for all markets, basically, outside of Brazil. 0.4%, the TSX 0.8% here. But look at the Russell, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P all up more than a full percent. So nice recovery so far. After yesterday's big sell-off that we saw. A couple of things from the watch list still kind of moving around. Was watching this DraftKings. It's kind of stuck in an area between 54 and 53 was a little support there. But look at the volume behind this move today after the share offering. Remember the price down there at 52 is where they priced that 16 million share offering. We'll slide over to Boeing. Another one from the watch list. Look at the volume spike just coming in to Boeing, breaking downside here after the big move down yesterday. Was trying to hold higher, but definitely weaker than the travel group. That's the key point there. Boeing, not necessarily travel stock, but you get my point. Westwater Resources, the weakest of this group so far today, testing $10 here. Was a little bit of an area midway through the afternoon yesterday. So watch $10. WWR down about 13% already, guys. Back to you.
that just feels like a play. Palantir there, as we went right to Brendan, the buyer did show back up, 300,000 shares or so at 35. I'm not going to mess around in that price range. I mean, I thought initially, short some 35, 34s, get out at 40. I'm going to stay away from that game and just play off of the 50 level, or if it gets down to 25. I'm not going to touch it in the middle of the range here.
Brendan, news on ELAN here. Activist. We went long through 30. We saw the headline. It may be a little bit early to get in on this trade, but we did take some 30s there, up to $30.60. ELAN, I don't know much about the company, so we take a small little position here, and let's see how high it can go. We'll check out a daily chart quickly on this one. And yeah, we're right at there, so we'll wait for Brendan to get confirmation on some kind of news for ELAN. But right now, it's trying to make moves. Look, if there's anything here, maybe we get a nice little $1, $2 winner up to about 32. That's the high. There was some problems in here, 31.50, but it comes up on our scanner, and then we just wait for it to break through 30. I mean, we could have got long down here. I would have taken 29 as well, but obviously that move happens quite quickly, so that's that one. And just to go on Palantir, yeah, Neil, I'm the same as you. I went short there, 35. I actually punched the guy, so I removed liquidity. Like when he starts breaking, I go short, but then he comes right back again, and the thing rips up. So I get out of half of my position at 38. So here we go. Here he comes again. What's up, E?
Okay, so this is a Bloomberg tweet, guys, saying that activist investor Sachem Head has built a $1.2 billion position in animal healthcare company Elanco, which is that ELAN. So that seems to be the headline there, guys.
Animal health?
You say 1.2 billion? That's like
That's
eight.
it?
That's like 8%.
I mean, it's
something.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's actually rather
Well,
large.
you have to declare it, right, when it's that high. So.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, that could be good news. An activist investor, maybe that can always lead to acquisitions or broad changes. So I like that play. It's a good one if you got 30.
I'm going to give
there.
Palantir here, Neil, one last chance. If it does break, come over to my screen, guys, quickly. I know Neil and I are looking at this. So 1854 here. It's been as high as 3, 4, 5,000, so 500,000 shares or so on the bid, and it's doing crazy volume, man. What I think this is probably either short covering or are people loading up at these prices? I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but there we go. We missed the short, but now we have, there it is, bang, a nice little bid out there. I'm going to cancel my short. I missed it. I tried to limit in at 34 on a 35 break. It doesn't look like it would have done much, but we do get out some at 30 there off of our initial 35 short. So we're still short 35. Remember what we did when we got scared? We got some out at 38, so or 39, 38, 50. I don't know. So many dark prints. But there it is. We're now short 35. Let's see if Palantir can give us a long back in now 10, 20 or so.
Yeah, I just want to bring you guys back to one of the names from both yesterday and today, OPTT. Of course, Brendan talked about that clean space. It's back to the downside. Look at this spike off the open. Sometimes you anticipate it. For me, it did break the high here, get like 10, 15 cents or so kind of got off the radar, but then slammed down. So missing this trade altogether, which stinks. Obviously, that's a good setup there for like a 40 to 50 short. It does give another pullback trading here at 310, but I'm busy with a heck of a lot of other names, unfortunately. So I did try this rollover right here at 280. I'll give that to like $3, see if it can't take out this little double bottom at 265, and then we can start actually making some money on this trade. A couple of legs that I should have been involved in, obviously, on OPTT, but you're seeing it start to roll over now. See if we can't make some coin. AAL immediately bursts to the downside and breaks 13. So one and done with that trade. I was looking for the break. The break is not on. Market's starting to slide back to the downside here. Off of that 3,400 level. So if I listen to Arun's ideas when it comes to the market, probably wouldn't be trying to take a long break with the market, with the ES trending towards that 34 mark. Probably has to break it first.
Yeah, not quite Jack White. General question, what kind of volumes are you guys buying each trade? 100 shares or 100K? Yeah, more closer to 100 than 100K shares. But okay, $21. Unfortunately, at least I gave it to you, so we'll hit the cowbell. We are looking at Palantir. We'll put a gun to our own head for missing some of these trades. And next time we do some interviews, man, I heard Brendan do a great one with Alex Bustos yesterday. And what I'm going to tell people when I do the interviews is the number one thing about the show is you got to stay focused and hit the trades. You got to put those orders in because look at this, man, 21.25. When Neo was down here, I was talking about, oh, guys, look, it makes a big move off the open. Now we got to let it settle down. And I'm going long 21.25. Do you see any long positions for Neo for me? No. So we we do that, and we miss out a little bit of money on that one. That would have been a decent trade. I love when NEO takes out the top of the day, especially with this kind of momentum. Everybody loves some NEO for them. So, yeah, wow. I'm not going to take it now. It's high, but wow, missed opportunity there for sure. Should have had that one through 21.25. I hope you guys remember that, and post in the chat if you have that trade. Sorry I don't have it on. I'm sorry for myself. What's up, Red?
Apologies if you guys talked about this already, but Clorox moving here, guys. They've unveiled an innovative device that apparently detects symptom spikes in classrooms of COVID-19. So a big spike here, 2% for CLX, 212 up to 216, guys.
Okay, that's a good one for Clorox. I want to come back to Levi's and sort of go back to this trade. A couple of legs here. The first one, a scalp off of the open at $16.50, all the way down to this like $15.86 price. So about like 40 to 50 cents worth of a scalp. Now the rest of these shares, it's a bigger play. You're giving it to that $16.80 top, and then I'm looking to cover on the way down to that 15 mark. So a couple of ideas here. We have the advantage days here that will obviously to be able to make lots of trades for low cost. In terms of what we pay on a per trade basis. So I'm doing both these things. It's both the scalp short, but also the breakdown through 35. Hopefully down to like $1 to $1.20 winner on Levi's, but we'll see. Just fading into this, and it just came up so hard, going into those earnings here that I wanted to take advantage of what might be a gap fill down towards 15.
Okay, oh yeah, that's right. I had Levi's, good thing I didn't, that order is still there. Look at NEO, embarrassing. Okay. Levi. Levi here. Yeah, I was still waiting for 16.50. I'm going to cancel that. Doesn't look so good. I want to have a quick little look at that one. But good trade for Neil going short there on Levi. I don't know if you had the 16 break or not. I think you had a little bit earlier. But right now, very, very choppy. So although it is an earnings name, and we do always talk about how much we love to do that, the volume is pretty good, man. 7 million shares, but watch out. Pretty choppy. Neil has the trade, so no point in me going over that one with you guys. Right now, we'll just check back in on Elon Pet Supplies. I love that spot there. You guys know I'm an investor in Chewy. We definitely love some Chewy off there as well. So we'll check out that in a minute. But Chewy's come off of its all-time highs off that last earnings report. But again, I do like the pet space. So this is an interesting name for me as well. So Elan, we'll wait. If it does break back below VWAP, we'll get out and just say that we took it for a little bit of a ride. We're hoping to get about $1 on that one. Only goes 60 cents. We'll still wait for it. But I'm going to get out at $29.80. I don't want to be the one caught holding the bag on this.
Yeah, and I talked to you about Gevo, of course. This one was a losing trade. AAL also was a loser for me, but this one to the short side, bigger than the AAL loss, certainly. When it took the top off, it entered breakout territory for me. Thankfully, dip buy in front of a 110. I always look for that sort of first level of support. To catch a bit of a dip buy if I think it's entering in an uptrend. I just got some shares a couple times there at 13s and at 12s as well. I'll take them off in front of that 120 mark, at least some, just because I do see a bit of a level here at 120. Once it breaks through that, I want to hold at least 3/4 of the position, maybe 2/3 of it for the northbound side of this trade in GEVO. There's room to run up to like 140, 150, so that would be the target out. I don't think it goes all the way to $2 when it went parabolic. Usually it goes shy of that the second time through. Already 10-10. Time to get to the big board. Brennan's got some upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, yeah, let's talk about a few more symbols here. A few of these we have mentioned already, but I wanted to mention Workday down here. W Day having quite the day to the upside after an upgrade. 3M as well, positive on the day. United there was actually a price target decrease, but an upgrade on United. The rest of the airlines all on this side. Southwest we listed here, but all of them had a downgrade today. Bandwidth, little telecom we'll look at, and Ralph Lauren as well, bucking the trend. The whole market higher, so downgrades not really mattering too much today. 3M, nice move here through to some recent resistance, 215, 216. Nice little trade opportunity above that high from yesterday, up about 3% so far for 3M. We'll have a look at Bandwidth, that little telecom gapping down this morning. Got flushed. It's not terribly small, but 178 down to 170, holding around that 172 for Bandwidth, guys. Back over to you.
Bandwidth, you say? Okay. Okay, we're as I know, we got that Elon in there for 29.70. Just letting you guys know that that's going to be my breaking spot. We've already given you that. Rave, we're holding like 5%. What? It went to 134? Oh man, my bid was at 130. That's crazy. Okay, so we'll wait for that. Just a small position anyways. So we move on. And then Palantir, man, honestly, right now I'm getting a little bit bored with it. So we're going to leave it alone. It's high as 1043. We know there's size at 1035. There isn't any more, but there was size there. So whether or not he's hidden or he'll come back or whatever, the shares are there. So, and it's resisted that 35. That's kind of like, if I could put a pivot point, you know what, I can. What the hell? I'll put a little bar here at 34, 35. So that's sort of what we're going to look for. And it's just chopping around there until it can make up its mind. I'm going long through 1050, and we'll put on some shares if that does happen. Palantir, one of my top stocks, is my top stock of the day, Palantir. Palantir and Square, close. I did see something here about possibly Pelosi and whatnot getting together, Mnuchin on the airline bill, Neil. I know you've talked about that as well, and you were looking at AAL. I just want to give our viewers a quick look at it. Nothing happening on the American Airlines front. So we'll wait to hear if there's any news from that. Brendan will obviously be in our ear when that comes through. And all I do is say it, and Brendan's in my ear. What up?
Yeah, just reading that headline as well. It looks like both Mnuchin and Pelosi spoke this morning about the possibility of a standalone airline bill. So maybe just support for the airlines, but it doesn't look like anything came from it, although it looks like they're going to continue discussions, guys.
Wow.
Almost as if someone tweeted about something like that yesterday, but I don't know who that might have been, but good to see if it happens, at least for the airlines. AL back above 13. I don't know if it's necessarily on that news. I did mention to you guys this level here in GEVO, and I showed you that 120. So I'll take shares off, like I said, in front of it right now. I still have 3/4 of the position on to that long side trade. GEVO average price at 114. If it breaks up, I'm targeting 140 to 150 as the ultimate target, probably for the last 10 or 20% in the last 10 cents. If it gets there, GEVO up 20%, looking like it could continue to move. DraftKings, I said it could be gravity taking it towards that issue price, and it's drifting right down towards that 52. I wanted to fade off of 55 if it got up there. That never really happened, but I think if we can hold that at 52, might be a good bounce point, especially if I see size down there. Could be worth a scalp long in front of 52. There was one bounce that got to like 20s or so. Not quite to that 52 level. I never really saw if there was a big buyer on that level too, but sometimes post-offering you will see some big bids just show their hand, much like you're seeing in Palantir. Could happen also in DraftKings at 52.
Yeah, we're long right here, breaking through that VWAP at 52.80. So it's a 12 penny winner right now. You can take it if you want. I'm not. Did I say 12? I mean 15. Now going upside, we'll see 53s. I'm actually going to wait right here, man. 53.25 or so. See if we can't get out. See if we can't get that 50, 60 cents here. Actually, that would be only 50 cents on DraftKings. So we'll wait to see if we can get that. Who knows? We will wait and hopefully get paid off. Okay, Palantir, here we go again. More size, Neil alert. 31s now. So he gave up the ghost at 35, I guess. And now he or she looking to load up some shares down here at 31. And when I mean load up, I mean we've seen probably 1 million, 1.5 million shares, someone taking those off the bid. So look, you guys want to get some calls. I don't know what. I guess they're going to be pretty expensive right now, but you might want to get some Palantir calls even as early as this week. It's only Wednesday, but some Friday calls. I'm pretty sure this thing will be above 1050. There's a lot of buyers here on this stock, and I can't imagine that they're short and covering. I really think these are build positions. They're starter positions. They have to be, in my opinion. So Palantir, I do like that for the long. Hopefully that comes through. And if you get calls, send the super chat through if it works, and don't harass me if they don't. But I like Palantir. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly or not, but I think this is a long-term gain for this stock. The problem with IPOs, as most of you know, they do have that little opportunity once they become off lockup. And I know this is a direct listing, so I'm going to do a little bit more research in that. But as soon as the investors can sell, the early investors sell their shares, could be a problem for Palantir. But I mean, look, man, they're buying up a lot of shares right now. So the opposite happening. Okay, Rave. Okay, I see you now. You go up to 150 there, right in this little spot. Actually, if you're looking to get short and you're not short with us already, this is not a horrible spot. 150, bounced a couple times, hit it again. Now I'm going to bid 132 and see if we can't get out at 132 here on Mr. Rave. And then I'm going to check back in after Brendan on some of those banks where we're all long at 94, right, on JP Morgan.
Not seeing any headlines on this one yet, guys, but VISL, Visalink, up about 30% here, just coming up to 180. Bit of a pivot on the daily chart, but big time volume and a move for VISL, guys.
I just want to jump you guys back to one of the things we talked about here in pre-market on Palantir. This 1030 level, not insignificant. 1020 right below it was the top yesterday's move. It was on the second day. That was the high where it just, absolutely failed like it was the easiest sort of short back into the price level off of the open when it failed at 1020. There's support potentially down below where this buying is happening at 30 and 35. That's what I like. I've been kind of waiting. I mentioned this many times. You're waiting for like 20s and 25s, but if the buying is here at 30, it feels like the only place to go long in front of that 1020 is to pay up that 10 or 15 cents into 30. So try to scalp it off a few times, and still going to take a long break at 1050. That hasn't changed. I'm not sure what would change that for me. Probably almost nothing. If it ever gets through there, I'm going to go long at 1050. But you have to start it here. Unfortunately, you can't get 25s the way this buyer's going.
No, you cannot. And we are finally a little smarter than we thought we were. We got a decent position out there at 31. So we saw that buyer there at 31. I did take some more out there at 33. So now we're really light on this, man. We're just going to wait to see if it can pay us off or not to the downside here. That's Palantir, of course. We have traded a little bit of Donkey Kong here. It's now 10 cents in the money. It does break through 53 and then stop. So I'm still holding strong down here. And just to give you guys an update, I will average in all the way, and then Neil's talking about 52. I don't think I'll hold to that, but I'll hold till 52.20. So we'll average into Palantir, to DraftKings. We're right now long, 10 cents in the money, but that doesn't mean that that's going to stay.
Another stock running to the upside. Thank you guys for throwing this one into the chat. It seems like every single day, and we need a graphic for Peloton, because if it's going to move every single day, we need to have a little something for it. But another $4 up, 5% again, it seems like. And the daily chart's going to be, it's going to tell you the entire story. But I think I like to look at the 15 here just through the last couple of weeks. This breakout, wow, goodness. If you're looking for breakout trades, 114, man, should not have missed that one probably. But we did, unfortunately. So I will have to look at this 120. There's been good reversal trades before. One of the best ones was at $100 on Peloton. Worth noting, the reversal at 100 actually broke through before it came back. So same thing I would anticipate could happen if we get to 120 on Peloton. If it breaks through, can't get more than like $1 or so and comes back in, that's the only way I'm probably going to be shorting Peloton at all today. What a strong stock it's been, needless to say, the last couple of weeks.
On activist news here, I'm just tweeting this out for ELAN. It is now, look at the chart, guys, it is now in the money here. We'll tweet it out and just let people watch as, this has been a good trade for us. It's now 85 cents in the money, so we like to the upside. We were talking about this little long side level there, and I don't know, we could have reloaded it up here again when we were like tipping around our out, but we didn't get out, so we'll celebrate it. Why not? But what we're looking for here is a longer time frame. The daily chart I was indicating up here, 31.85. Like if I can get this out at 31.50 for $1.50 on a stock that we had no real insights on until that news, of course, we're probably going to take that out. It's now bouncing around 31.80. I'm just debating right now taking this out at 30.80. Obviously the news is out there, so I'm pretty happy getting it out right now, so we'll wait on that. What just happened there? Palantir, nothing. Did I get out of something? Oh, DraftKings. Oh, wow, DraftKings, there it is. Okay, so you guys want that cash. We'll hit the cowbell. DraftKings, boom, what a trade right there. Through 52.80 there. That's our long 52.81, and we just take it out there for 40, 50 cents, like we said, and it fits like a glove. There, we hit the home run, and that is not a home run. That, of course, is a shot from the blue line. The power play is on. Let's go, Brendan.
Hey guys, busy morning. Let's have a look at small cap world. The number of them in play today. This is more like micro cap world if we're talking about Rave. But nevertheless, 240 up here was level in the pre-market. 220, the next kind of step down. So take your pick. I was just kind of eyeing that area in between 220, 240 to see what happened. Never even got tested. Big flush here from just above 2 all the way down to 120. I was so happy to get out of that. I overfilled long and then immediately got out of that as well. So we're breaking downside on Rave still. Did I not set this up correctly? There was a couple other ones. PPSI and OPT, a couple of those clean energy names also giving you great opportunities both on the short side from yesterday. We were talking about all of those yesterday. WWR, I'm still kind of eyeing that top end of the range. If we get anywhere near that today, we'll have a look at that one as well. Guys.
Thanks, Brendan. I actually got trailed out. So I was looking at 125 on Rave. I got trailed out at 150. If I put in a trail that late when the trend hasn't really broken, usually it's a bad idea. But when you're talking about WWR, I'm with you. And I've gone the one thing I have done, however, is if it travels far away from that breakout price at the top, that 1280.13 area, I don't necessarily want to have a stop order. And the reason for that is now that it's down below 11, in the event that it has one spike up, I don't want to get triggered right into a halt. And so that's the only reason I don't have a stop through the high. If it breaks back above like 1150, I can put that stop back in. I never want to have a stop under those conditions where I'm just getting into position and then immediately looking at a potential halt situation. I'd rather avoid that if I can. So if it grinds higher in WWR, I'll put that back in. For now, I'm going to go away from that order. Back at the open, I was pretty comfortable having that stop, but it then triggered downside halts. Now holding around 11 even. So for me, I still like that breakout through the high. It's a 1280 if you want to look at this. 1450 a big level if it ever got through that 1280.
Neil, let's give our viewers a little bit of love here. They are asking, I don't know if you want to do it or not, but you have done it a couple times already, so it's not like putting you on the spot. But they're asking about that MOBL. Did you just want to like
mobile?
Explain what you're doing on that?
Not a problem, guys. I'll jump over to it here. And oddly enough, should have done this yesterday when we were talking about our market making cap. It's not nearly as active today, but this is an all cash deal at 705. It tends to trade in a pretty tight range, guys, so that'll show you the level 2. There's lots of liquidity here, so really no concerns in terms of any position size that you might put on. But this is what it's done. This is a 15-minute chart ever since the deal was announced. There's been basically no movement as long as you understand what the range can be and how to structure the risk of your trades. I get paid to add liquidity. I take as much spread as possible. Usually, I'll pay money to get that spread if I can, but I'll be in and out of this basically all day long. You'll see me with 2s, 3s. I like shorting 5s. I actually got trapped the other day losing growth, shorting 5s, and then it broke above the price, got out at 8. That's a pretty rare occurrence, and I'll probably fade that if I get another shot. That was it up here, if I can quickly show to you guys. This was actually me getting out right at the top the other day at 05, and then I missed it the next day. That was the easiest money you'll ever get, coming right back into the price. So I'll take advantage of it as long as I can. Essentially, being a market maker on this stock, it's not going to move very fast. If it ever does break 7 even, that's a huge opportunity for me because I'll be out of it on any long I take, and then looking for other people that are panic selling to try to pick it up as long as there's no threat to the all-cash deal.
Yeah, so perfect. Thank you to Neil for that one, and thank you for the questions as well. Okay, I don't see any other perfect. I mean, we are going to be doing something about a perfect setup later on our show at 1 p.m. when we come back live. We'll do that in a second. But, I mean, breaking through VWAP and getting out right at the consolidation point right here, I mean, I can't do it any better. If you're going to be a scalper like I claim to be, then, yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. 1, 2, 3. This is like 7 or 8 minutes. You grab your 60 cents there and you run for the hills, but normally we'll try to hold it. It wasn't a huge position, so we'll put the money in our pocket and then see. I still think we can build, man. I still think it can come back to the downside. Look at the NASDAQ fading in just a little bit right now. But Brendan, you have something, bud?
Another familiar name here, India Global. IGC just popping up on a volume scanner, just broke through day highs there. It's been doing absolutely nothing for weeks, so just having a look for news possibly on IGC, guys.
I mean, it doesn't usually. That's one of those ones that'll pop up for a couple of days and you'll run back to it. There's another name that's a small cap that is moving today. It was on my list as a watch, and now that it's halted the upside, hey, thank you, Cameron. Fastly, what a great mover that's definitely been. And we appreciate all the super chats. Cameron, you've been all over it, so I want to shout you out there. We do appreciate all the love we get from you guys in the chat, everybody in the community. That's why I want to bring up TLC, because I see a few people talking about it. Not the group. Even though I guess they're not really around anymore.
No scrubs, no scrubs.
No scrubs. And this, I'm not calling it a scrub stock, but small caps tend to fade when they gap up. And this one gapped into $12 and is already faded back into 7. And that's 7 to 740 is the level I'm watching now. It halted to the upside, and failure to get through that price, another sign of weakness for it here. So let's watch to see if it holds below 7 even. If I was long, which I'm not, I would definitely be thinking about taking profits. You're praying basically that it breaks back above 740 if you're hanging on to a long. And this Palantir 1031, they're trying to break the buyer again. I'm long in front of it. If it breaks, I'm scalping out like 4 or 5 cents each time. If it goes below that 30 mark, I'll cover and see what happens at 1025. Brendan has something for us.
Yeah, on that Fastly, what a move. Another day high, another volume alert just popping up here. Just wanted to point out this high on the daily chart. We'll wait for, that to go by. There we go. This high, 118 and change, 118.20 is all-time highs for Fastly, guys.
Yeah, and again, man, I mean, we can't say enough love here for Cameron. You've been amazing for us. Thank you so much. Let us know if you want to come on as guest of the day, and we'll get that no matter what. So, Cameron, thank you so much for everything you've given to the show, and we're just happy. I mean, I see on the chat too. Glad you're on Cat. Glad you're on Fastly. Like a lot of love on the chat for this, and I mean that's what it's about. Obviously, we do the show for free, and all the super chats are absolutely fantastic. You can also join up and be a member if you want to get one of those little green things. And some cool little emojis there as well. Our chat is open to you, to everybody, but if you did want to become a member, the last Monday of every month, we'll do an hour or so where you can have open mic with us and ask us whatever you want. Dangerous with open mic, that's for sure. But we'll wait for that one. DraftKings now making new moves to the high side there. We did get out of that, but there's a quick little scalp no matter what you're talking about. Nice little win there. I'm going to wait. I would rather wait on DraftKings to come back here, so I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I'm not going to trade it anymore, guys. DraftKings, we will wait on that one. Oh, Mr. Softy, what are you doing today? Up 0.25%, and a lot. This is what it's doing, really, Mr. Softy. 50 cents back and forth and around, so we'll wait on that one. But look at the NASDAQ still holding upside. So only thing we have on right now is ELAN, and I've changed my mind. We'll get out here somewhere if we can on the high side of this stock. Good little trade there on activist movements, only in the money, 36 cents, but hey, not horrible. And then Neil's already gone over our Palantir. I have some more bids now down here, down low side, 30.31. I still think we take out 50, so big stick time when that happens.
Yeah, it's just still trading. It's like 30 to 35, maybe call it 40 range over and over and over again. So that party hasn't ended. But PPSI, I want to say the party could, well, I shouldn't say over because this stock was down at around $2 when it started this move. And you look at the daily chart, it's starting to come back in. But it never really broke 450, which is the bottom in the pre-market. That's this level right here on the daily chart. But I'm watching it hold this $5 mark first. I talked about 450 in the pre-market as a possible breaking point. It feels like 5 could be a scalp trade on PPSI into that 450, and if that goes, who knows how far it could go down. I'm not saying it goes all the way back to 2, but certainly the consolidation on the way up was around $3. That would be the next area of support. So I'm looking at a 5 even break on PPSI into that 450 mark. So no trades yet on this name. And if it breaks downside, I will be short on a 5 even break PPSI.
We're just updating our last tweet there, and we're going to put the money bags on it because Rave right here, guys. What a trade that was, man. Out at 30. Okay, now you're below 30. Okay, I see you, Rave. Out right there at 136. No more shares. Wash our hands. But look where we are right now, guys. 210 short in the pre-market at 840 too. 210 short. Then short again off VWAP at 220. Bang! 50% return. What up, B?
Yeah, that seller was pretty amazing up there, above 2 there on that Rave. What a great trade. Foonware, guys, another one we've looked at many times on the show. PHUN. They got a contract with Honeywell, so they're up on that news. 21%. It's kind of dying off already, but worth a look. Foonware. Moving around, Valeria is watching what is going on over in Europe. About an hour left in the session over in Europe, Valeria.
Yes, Brandon, Britain's supermarket chain Tesco is the positive mover after reported a jump in sales and forecast positive full-year operating profit. Back to you.
Grocery stores across the board benefiting from everyone stocking up, I guess, still for the pandemic. Guys.
Neil, Walter there.
Thank you, Walter. The news about Gevo there. I actually have it in a breakout territory on Gevo. And of course, look, if I see a certain short setup, I'm always going to take it as long as it fits my parameters. Almost regardless. And this was a nice little slide to the downside. I'm going to add to it. It then pops up testing that high. But I had my stop for the out. And now I got a bit of a long trade that I'm playing two ways. One, I want to hold it above this like 110 to 112 mark. I want to make sure I'm scalping some off. And again, we have direct market access here, Day Trade the World, low cost fees. So making these trades where you get in and out inside of the range on Palantir or on a Gevo, it just makes a lot of sense to do because I can work this position to the long side. I can hold a core long, which I'm doing here. Excuse me. Technically, 75% of it I have, no COVID. 75% of the position is still on. I haven't reloaded because I want to see it bounce off 12 one more time on the dip buy. But I am still targeting that we can maybe get to this like 140, 150 mark. That'll be all for me. I know some people You want to shoot for the moon, go for it at $2. I won't be doing it. 20% return is fair enough for me. You might hold shorts for longer. That's just my style of trade. The long trades usually have a pretty firm target on those. Speaking of those, I want my shorts. Not necessarily pink. I guess we'll go blue for Levi's here. And nothing against Levi's. I got a pair of them myself. I think every old head probably does. So 1550 is the next target to the downside. Already did the scalp trade. This one, I'm looking for that gap fill. And it's not necessarily, and you're going to see in the close, it was trading in the aftermarket right at the 16 mark, and it closed down at like 1475, 15 area. That's where I'd like to see if I can get out in front of. Levi's ran up into earnings, surprise profits for them. Just a bit of sell action going into it today that I was anticipating, as long as it didn't take the top. If it had broken 17, this trade would have been off for me, but it did not, so the trade was on. Now you're getting this nice little flush to the downside. Another volume spike down here, but I've already taken off the shares that I will in front of that 16 mark. Now I want 1550.
Okay, we could talk a little bit. I look at Rave, just keeps going down. Okay, I see some Facebook talk on the chat. I'll be back. Brendan, what's up?
Another little minor just popping up here. UAMY. Yeah, it's a penny stock, but big time volume alert just coming through here for UAMY. They're in the precious metal group as well, guys.
Oh, right. Yeah. So again, precious metals all over the place. We saw PLL, everything with lithium, and we'll see what happens with that with Tesla, and I don't know, just a hot space right now, mining, that's for sure. Gold as well, moving around. Okay, so Facebook, look, the one thing I'm going to tell everybody right now is if you are negative on the market and you do think that the investigation will do something to Facebook or to the monopoly that they may or may not have with WhatsApp and Instagram and all that kind of stuff, you may be right, because Facebook down 1%, NASDAQ up 1%. So polar opposites, that's 2% difference. That's pretty big. Normally you don't get that in Facebook, so I think the market is probably with you on that kind of a move. The only thing I'm worried about, of course, is the NASDAQ just continuing to march higher, but into election time, that may not be the case. Look, Facebook has a lot of things working for them. Facebook stores is going to be huge. Instagram now has the ability to buy things right from, I think you swipe up and you can buy now or something like that. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. But Facebook now making moves back to the downside. Look at the daily chart. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is the key thing for me here, guys. 100%. There's Palantir out. They're at 31, and now we're flat, so that's a big win. Not a big win. We were short 35s. Okay, 65. This is the 50-period moving average, as you guys know I love, and we are below that. So, yeah, I'm down with a short, man. If you're short on this stock, watch out for it to break back above around this 270. That'll be your area that you're out. But if you're playing calls, yeah, I think we can. I mean, it's actually breaking down. So I think you can get below this. 240 may be coming for Facebook. You may even test 230 down here. I would start to load it up, man. If you got anywhere near this area, 210, 220, 230 even, a good little starter position for Facebook. But yeah, I'd say we come down. And if you're looking for options on the short side, Facebook may be the one if you're going to do anything like that. Palantir does break. There's Elan. Boom! Nice little floss off right there. In 30, out 30, 60. Hallelujah. We take that one and go. And then a little bid that I forgot. Now long 27 Palantir. That's where I was going to get out on some of that break. So it's a little small position. We got to get out. What's up, Beep?
Some of the retailers just popping up here. Just noticed Gap trying to get back towards day highs here. Kind of failing, though, 1960. 4.8% for Gap. Barclays out with a positive note this morning on the entire retail group. Guys.
Yeah, that little dip in Palantir, looking to see if I can pick some up at 1020 there. That UAMY.AM, we'll get to that in a quick second, but I'm going to go ahead and start trading. It's actually a penny stock, so do watch out for it. A bit of a different style. Sort of speaking of penny stocks, I should probably throw this one up. Coming up a little bit later on, it's right here. We're actually talking a little bit about how to trade penny stocks. It's like the number one target, number one topic in today's live to real that we're going to be doing, guys. So check that one out. It's going to be at 1 o'clock, as I mentioned. There are other topics, of course, but hopefully I'll have some trades in UAMY, and we can talk a little bit about what you have to consider when you're trading in those names. Also, A-plus trading strategies, habits of successful traders. We get all these topics usually from you guys as suggestions, so always let us know. Every Wednesday, we tape for you guys live 1 hour, these education segments. So join the party. I'm back into the Palantir party. The best trades for me were the breakout at 30 and the dip buy at 20. So I'm going back to that as I just picked up some shares here at 21. If it wants to break below this 20 mark, I want to see some serious offering below and some selling below that price to get me out. You don't necessarily need hard stops on Palantir because the liquidity is so good. So I just always have a level 2 up here on my side screen. So I'm always watching it. Scalp 5-10 cents at a time. Looks like we're doing the same thing here again because here it goes right up to 10.26. I can start taking it off on the way back up to 10.30. Looks like support turns into resistance. And if that buyer comes back in, even better.
Yep, exactly. So 10.32 here. We did have a short there at 22. We covered it. Like again, we have so many. We have so many orders pending. I just cleaned them all up there. So hopefully nothing else comes of this. We'll wait for Palantir to get back. I love the longs down here. We talked about that, and we're trying to fish for one down in the teens as well. But we'll get out of this little short. I've already cleaned it out there. We're holding 10% of what we had now to the short side, 10.22. It's right at VWAP. If it hits above 30, we'll get out. But I still think it can flush down. I mean, why not? Why not test 10.15? That's what we're going to get out, hopefully, of this short. Brendan.
Another volume spike here in Clorox, guys. We mentioned the news there. Clorox back above day highs here. You can see volume coming back in. They developed or are testing a product that apparently can identify symptom outbreaks in classrooms for COVID-19. So nice little day here for Clorox so far.
Yeah, and if it's going to give that little dip there, Clorox, I mean, it's a $200 name, obviously, but on volume, secondary push here on Clorox, and it looks like this 215 could be an area of support on the way back in. That's where it kind of broke through, and then the volume did come after that breakout. So I'm going to look at that price as a potential pullback trade. I just want to jump quickly back to Palantir, and we showed you guys that buyer. Sean was talking about all morning long. We've shown you a couple of times the level 2 look when it was at 35. The idea behind getting long at 1020 wasn't the same. It wasn't that there was a big buyer on the level 2 at 1020. As you see, almost nothing there. I mean, a couple, 10, 20,000 shares or so tops. It was more the fact that we had huge flush off the open after the breakout that just spun right around at 1020 and then tested and held that price one more time. So I kind of anticipate that the same thing could be true. If I see selling below it, I can quickly jump out for like a 2 or 3 cent hit, but I'll buy into it and taking like 5, 6, 7, 8 cents out, and I'll get it all out in front of that 1030 mark because if 1030 was that support, I'm not going to hold through. It could turn into a bit of resistance up here, guys. So it's a nice little scalp trade. That's just the mind of what an active trader might be doing around a level like that on Palantir. I was testing 1030 over and over again for some positive trades, but 1020 was always on the radar after what we saw here at 942.
Yep, and look, and then that's what the scalper's dream is right now on Palantir because 25 million shares, easy ability to get in and out of that one for sure. So, yep, we're going to do that, and I agree. Neat haircut by Brendan on that one, so good little call there. I mean, you can't compete with Brendan, and we talked about that yesterday. Okay, Beyond Meat right here, 190, hells to the yeah. This is another holding of mine. Beyond Meat to the upside, big time there. McDonald's, I think, Walmart, everybody now getting into the plant-based burger game, and Beyond Meat leads the way with that one. What a great stock here, up 4.5%. Creating some levels now. I do like a 191.50 break, although we're a little ways away here. Look at the market coming off right now. So if you have any shorts there, what's that Facebook doing? I did talk about liking that one to the short side, and yeah, here it comes. Trying to break that 255 bottom. We'll go short if it does. But now at the big screen with, what is that called? Sector Watch with Brendan. Let's go.
Nicely positive for the overall S&P 500 so far. You can see very, very blue board so far today, 1.2%. It's the Reuters Icon platform. They decide what the colors are. I don't. But yeah, very, very positive right across the board here. Material stocks leading the way so far to the upside. We've talked about a number of those little teeny tiny minerals, precious metal miners, all moving higher. But even the big ones, FCX, MLM, and CE, all 5+%. 7% move for FCX today to the upside. Healthcare stocks also nicely higher. Number of the pharmaceutical names popping up here, obviously vaccine related. LLY, Eli Lilly, did have a little bit of news this morning in regards to a treatment for COVID-19 that they're going to try and get emergency use certification from the FDA for. So you can see LLY right there, 2.7%. CNC, DXCM, and EW in the equipment makers. This entire group, the equipment makers, all in positive territory so far, nicely higher as well. I mentioned the retailers. There's Gap, 5% for Gap. GPS leading the way in this group. Tasco, TJX, Etsy, Lowe's, just to name a few. all in positive territory. The retailers are today. It was Barclays with a positive note we mentioned on the retail group today. Some of the apparel makers as well having a nice day. Under Armour back to the upside. It's been struggling lately, UA here, 3% today, back to the upside. Tapestry as well, having a nice day, 4%. All about the banks today. The entire group pretty much. There's one little one there in negative territory, but the entire group in positive territory. Take your pick. They're all going to be higher. Industrials as well. Here's the airlines, UAL, AAL, FedEx even, UPS popping up here. Delta having a nice day, 2.5% for Delta to the upside. We did have there's Boeing, 3.5%. Boeing on the watch list today, guys. Grab the watch list if you haven't. Overall, great day so far for the market. Back to the upside here, 1.2%. Let's go back to Sean.
Yeah, really surprising day. We talked about what was happening yesterday, but the thing about yesterday, I mean, look at Facebook bouncing off 255, so we never got to short, of course, through 255. But what a bounce that was. Look at the NASDAQ just coming back from dead there. So, yeah, what a day. And if you talk about why it bounced, I mean, look at this. Go to the spiders yesterday. This is the SPY. This is the... Oh, I'm on drawing lines. No, don't draw lines. What happened was I was really encouraged by this little move up here in the last 10 minutes of the day. There was market on buy imbalances, and we took some out, some levels out to the upside there, cleared it. We did not finish on the lows of the day. That can be important for you investors out there. Just watch out for that kind of a play. If you finish off of the lows, although in the aftermarket we did come down, but it did defend this bottom there and bounce. So look, I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's just one of those things that I tend to notice that if you have a little bit of a run up, then you could see what happens the next day. But we're in a completely different world right now because of the stimulus, obviously, and because of COVID, unfortunately. So you do have to watch out for what happens after the market and into some of these plays right now. I did want to go back. Go ahead. Yep. No, I'm out.
Just it's ramping up to this 54.20 level right here. 420. I mean, it's like. How does it always come to 420? I mean, I'm not making this one up. 54.20 from the opening range high here. Maybe it breaks through, but on the march back up to that 55 level, that's what I was looking to hopefully take a shot fading in front of. Looks like I'm going to put the pedal to the metal. If we get this break, it might take you all the way to this 55 market. If it fails to get through this 55.25, that's high of day. I'd like to be short off that 55 level. DraftKings off the offering, finally priced and growing higher. So it did have some gravity down towards 52. Couldn't quite get there, but what a great run it's on. Now trending towards that 55. Even Mark, I want to throw this one out here. I saw the congratulations or the love for Brendan's haircut. I will say this. Brendan has a future. Obviously, this is going to work out for him because he's fantastic at what he does. But he cuts his own hair. And I tried doing that myself, and that's why you saw me sport the bald look a few months ago, because it didn't go too well.
Yeah,
but
I did not do this.
You didn't do it?
Just for the record, I did not do this.
Usually do.
During the pandemic, when we were having no haircuts allowed, that was the time that was happening. But I did not do this.
Yeah, well, I can't tell the difference, Brendan. That's all I'm going to say about that. A man of many talents. Levi's, I just want to update you guys. Of course, you've seen the markets trending back towards, I mean, we're up a percent, but back towards 3,400 overall in the ES. But Levi's here still sliding southbound, but there was an iceberg order. I was looking for a target at 1550. It bounced off that price the first time, then consolidated, and there was an iceberg buyer here at 75 that showed up in level 2. So for me, I'm not going to split hairs over 20 cents. I'll get the next leg out at that price. Still looking for a flush down into 15 to see if we can get a bigger win on the rest of it. You know, at that, it was a 50, 60 cent winner at that level before. We're still looking for that bigger win on Levi's. It hasn't really tested higher, but I can start to think about getting it out if it breaks break even here, and that's 1640. So I have seen a buyer appear here at 75. If it breaks up, I am now going to trail it to break even. I don't want this turning into a loser for me after a nice trade to the downside of the markets sliding back up. Remember, it was surprise profits and good news on Levi's, just looking for that gap fill trade.
Yep, exactly. It was great news on Levi's. I thought a good report there coming out. We're taking a small position here on JPM, and the reason why, as NASDAQ goes up, sometimes they'll sell some of these, higher name stocks that are more value stocks and getting into some of the tech side of things. So we'll start. I mean, this is a nice little drop down. You can see it's not a heavy range today for JPM. Obviously, it's like 99.50 up to 130. So, an 80 cent range on a $100 stock is not much, but we like it. And I'm just going to play it through this bottom. If we do crack below 99.50, we'll be out. Let's see if we can't build a position here on JP Morgan. Starter spot at 77. We'll see if we get some out at VWAP, which is 100. That'll be 30 cents, 23 cents. And then we'll work the way back into this little area if we can. But we'll put on a better position down here at 99.60 or so. And then unfortunately use 99.50 as an out. We are not married to this position at all. We're just testing this out here. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ now coming in. So market fading off here, guys. Watch out. What's
I
everyone
don't know. There's some weird stuff going on in from Valeria here, and I need an explanation on this, whatever you're talking about for a hyena. But Brendan's got a little bit of news here. I was just watching plug power go through the roof, but we'll come back to that in a second. First to Brendan.
Talked about this one going back a couple of days here, guys. Kura, if you remember, K-U-R-A, ahead of this data. This is an oncology company that popped up today on the release of data. So a couple of days back, they were talking about releasing this data, and here it is, better than expected. So all-time highs up here. Look at the daily chart on this thing, just straight higher. K-U-R-A, guys.
I did mention very briefly a second ago, plug power up almost 9%. It was 9% when I was watching it 2 seconds ago. Just like screaming to the upside here, guys. It does feel at some point it's starting to slow down. The volume, it's tapering off a little bit, but not by much. I think once it starts to go sideways and the volume dries up, then I will be looking for either a pullback or a secondary break. Likely it's going to be the former, not the latter. But it's definitely a big move here in plug, and it has garnered some attention here, guys. So got to watch it. The hyena thing that Valeria was mentioning here, let's fill you guys in. Apparently the production crew, when they're laughing, they have a lot of fun doing the show. And they do a great job, by the way. But I didn't say this. Valeria saying that they sound like hyenas when they laugh. So I just want you guys to know that, Rob and Lucas. Valeria, she's a pretty face over here. But I don't know. Like laughing like hyenas. What I actually want to know right now, and I'm going to put you on the spot, is I saw the 1,000 mark go through. I didn't see 1,500, and we keep failing to get to 2,000. It's like a little bit of a nitpick for me. It's like, how can we always stall out at 1,800 likes every single day? It's like a program triggers and then starts like short selling likes the way I would in front of like plug at 18. But where are we at for the likes right now, Val?
I'm so glad you asked because we're just at 1100. It's not off. We're just, I love your production team. We're just at 1,100 of likes, and I haven't seen 2,000 likes for so long. So team, please like the video if you haven't yet.
Yes,
Valeria's hard,
dude.
boy. She is not holding back on the production team, but obviously I've bigged them up a lot in the past as well. So we do love you guys. Keep it going and make sure Valeria's mic is never turned off. Of course, you can turn my mic off whenever you want. The audience may like that. Okay, we've dug we've dug into JP Morgan more a little bit here, and there it is again. So we're giving our 50s the out. I'm not going to get any more here. We'll give this 15 cents back down to the downside right now and get out if that does come through. So JP Morgan right now, our average price 69, so it's only right here, so no sweat off. We'll just wait to see if it can't make moves back to the upside. I'd love to get this back to VWAP, and then we'll probably take it all out. Very weak JP Morgan. Just noticing now, actually, guys, that we're up 1.7%. That's a lot. That's more than the market. This is the NASDAQ. If you see the ES only up 1.27, so JP Morgan leading the way. Boom! Right away, a 10-cent win on JP Morgan. So yeah, that's a good one. Nice little average in downside there, guys.
Yeah, just want to quickly jump back over to Palantir. I know some of you guys are watching this move down. It was a great scalp off of 1020, but it's coming back through, and it's starting to be a clear trend back into the downside. So I'm going to stay off this. The secondary long here off 20. The first one worked. I'm not going to try it again. It is starting to fade. I'm going to watch that $10 level. If that holds, I'll jump back into the long scalp trade. Brendan's got something. What do you have?
Another recent mover, Clean Spark. CLSK, we mentioned this one a few days back on a pop to 14. I guess it was actually yesterday we were talking about Clean Spark, maybe. Big offering announced this morning all the way down here at 950. So it tagged it in the pre-market. It's been marching away from it ever since. So CLSK back to the upside. It's in the renewable energy space, guys.
Here comes OPTT again. I had a short near the bottom that we took off here when it broke 3, so you have to have a stop. But if it comes here again, which it looks like it's going to, you had a double top. It broke this 356 pre-market high and then failed right back through. If it can't get through it this time, it's obviously going to be another short crack for me, and I will take that shot again. This is it on the 3-minute chart, just a little bit more clean. So if it does start to roll over in front of 50, that's going to be an entry point. You can use a couple of stops. If you like the round number, fair enough. If you like the previous high, fair enough. I would much prefer to use that high of day at 364, rounded up to 365. So watch OPTT here. It would be a breakout through 365 if it gets there. And I guess Feisty Valera you guys are liking because we just got to 1500. Hopefully that resistance at 1800 gets broken the same way resistance at 18 is going to get broken on plug, it seems.
Yep, and then there goes Palantir as well, back to the downside. So like I was saying, we took it out a little bit there at 30. We've been bouncing around, a little bit of profit, but our last trade, we went long. Well, actually, we were short. Remember, 35s, out. Our best out there, 27, before breaking down and then forgetting about this short and going short at 22, which now would be in the money. I am bidding, okay, I guess I can cancel that. I almost got long again by accident. We're going to try to take some longs maybe around this level, man, 10-15, 10-13, 10-11 or so on Palantir, but it is fading back in off of a fantastic morning. Still one of my top stocks. But right now it's money talks time, and we want to know more about that greenback, my man.
Yeah, back to the downside so far today for the U.S. dollar. I'll show you the DXY chart over there, the dollar index. This constant back and forth, stimulus, maybe stimulus, not so much stimulus, sending the dollar back downside here so far today. So all of these going to be in positive territory, anything compared to the U.S. dollar, that is, including the euro up about 0.25%, the Canadian dollar back to the upside. 75.3 for the CAD once again today. We dipped back down to almost 75 yesterday, but back higher once again. The pound, the Japanese yen even, catching a bit of a bounce up, about 0.4%. Swiss franc was higher earlier, but coming back to the downside a little bit. Australia, New Zealand, both in positive territory. You can see the Turkish lira. Had a look at that chart today. It's just been straight higher for the past 3 weeks. For the Turkish lira, 1% today. Bitcoin, Ethereum, yeah, not really doing a heck of a lot. We are positive, though. Ethereum leading the way once again, 341 up 1% on the day. Let's go back to Neil.
Thanks a lot there, Brendan. One other name that I think has been in play, and an OX, you're going to see up 10% here. It's been a wild stock, 36 to 40, already made a 10% move before coming back in top to bottom. Just remember what this stock has done in the past in terms of relative volatility from 20 all the way to 70, and then almost all the way back. It's given some consolidation here, at least in the last couple of sessions. So it's not to say that there's nothing wrong with a $4, $5, $6 move, but relatively speaking, this has been a much, much crazier stock. If it cannot get through this level, and it's been like a 41.50 top, today 40.50, it does feel like it's going to be the sell-on again. There's a couple of short sellers that have this in their crosshairs. Now, I'll be looking to see if it rolls over off this 39 and possibly with a 38 entry, depending on what it costs for some pay for shorts, because I know we're likely to have to pay for it. But OPT, I just mentioned to you that I was going to get into off of like a 350 to 365 area top. It's a breakout for me if it takes out this high, but I'm going to give it one shot here in front of it to the south side trade. I would definitely take shares off, at least some of them in front of 3 even. If 3 even breaks, and the reason why I would take shares off in front of 3, if 3 even breaks, I almost want to be getting in again and then working like an afternoon short into that either low of day and hoping for that 265 break. But it's double bottom action off the low. Probably, and I look back at it, and obviously this is hindsight, but one of the things you should do, and I will do in review, but I can do it right here for you. And I see this double bottom here at 265. Normally this rollover is pretty good, but if it's right off of a bottom that you saw in the pre-market as well, maybe not the best entry price to me. So I kind of look back at it and say, I should have waited maybe for a little bit bigger retracement. If I take this around 290 instead of around 275, 280, I might save myself 10, 15 cents. I'm taking that short anyways, off of this level here at 315. But I probably could have saved myself a couple of pennies paying more attention to that double bottom there. So the setup looked good, but wasn't like an A+, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. Also coming a bit later, I wanted to quickly do this. I showed you one, but we also dropped a video today. VWAP. you only ever see like usually one thing on my like 1 minute, 3 minute charts, and it's going to be VWAP, one of the only indicators that I usually have on at all times. So we're going to go over trading strategies off of it, like using it for entries and exits. That's on our market wisdom page coming up a little bit later. I don't know why Sean looks shocked in that picture because he has it on his charts as well. VWAP, I know it's popular, so we're going to go over that one for you guys again. Jumping back to OPTT, it is starting to roll over. Once it breaks 3/4, then I'll start taking profits on the way down to 3 even, and then looking for another breakdown if it goes through that 3 mark. Brendan, what do you have for us, buddy?
They've been popular and a little bit strong over the past couple of days. Just reading a little bit about cannabis stocks catching a bit of a bid. This is, however, not one of those. This is in the hemp and actual food sector. So Grow, GRWG, just breaking through this top end. Daily consolidation, which was 17, so we're up to above 18. Having quite the day here. Not seeing individual headlines on it particularly, but GRWG up about 14% today, guys.
Not up 14%, but up 10%. And we talked about that 1800 resistance and then $18 resistance on plug. Let's see if what's going to get there first. Are we going to actually break 1800 likes, or is plug going to take the top off here at 18 even? I'm going to say plug might roll over, and I think you guys will get us there first. And I'm looking for that failure, basically at that price. I can tell you OPTT broke down to like 25, got some shares. The first leg started at 25 that I'll get out on the way to 3 even. So that's going to be a good one. We'll do, I don't know, a backflip, because I try to imagine myself still being able to pull one of these off. Believe it or not, when I was in junior high, I could actually do a backflip, which is a long, long time ago, and I'll never be doing them again because I'm old. But 18 even is the rollover point. It's still grinding higher here on plug, so it hasn't shown any semblance of a sell. If you go to the level 2 here, and I can scroll down and show you guys over at 18, really nothing when you get down there. They can't really see any size yet. If there is a big seller at that price and it starts to go, I'll probably take a short for you, a short for myself anyways, and show you guys that short on plug at 18. But it also could be a breakthrough as well. These are fresh highs for plug. I just think it's starting to get a little bit overbought, and it's really starting to slow down volume-wise, and it will need that volume to get through 18 even.
Okay, we just took a little bit long there on Palantir and at 21s. We'll see if we can't just scalp it out for a little bit here, up to 23s and then 24s. And we'll see about making a little bit of money on this one. So long 21s, as you can see, scalps them out there at 23. And again, we have direct market access. So depending on what gateway you choose, you get the rebates or you don't. So to take 2 pennies, if you have a couple thousand shares or whatever it is, well worth it. There we go. Bang to the upside. Look, I mean, that's a quick scalp right there. So we'll floss that off. Sit back down, make a little money, pay for the coffee, and go upside right. Bang, there it is again. Out more and more and more at 24, and then we'll wait to see if we get some 25s. But we're flat now at 24. Again, 20% of the position, waiting for a little bit more. Took it all out there. Took a quick 3 penny scalp there on our boy PLTR. Just quickly, JP Morgan comes down to that 58 level. We're waiting for 50s to break. Only goes as high as 73s. Watch out for the market. The NASDAQ is going upside. But did I hear that we're ready for Miss V at the big screen? Nope, so we are not then. So JP Morgan, 99.50 is where it's going to come out. We got to find some NASDAQ stocks, man. These stocks are going crazy right now in the NASDAQ. You can see up, and away. Apple from that bottom, 114. We're talking about if it does break that to go short. So if you like the long, that's it right there. 115, a lot of congestion up there. Do not like Apple today. It's not moving. I love Facebook. Better long Facebook. Wait for 255.50. But here we go with Miss V. What's up?
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe is in a negative territory at this hour. Russia is down 1.69%. Spain is down 0.5%. Italy is down 0.11%. And Germany is down 0.16%. Dialog Semiconductor is up almost 3% after reported a better than expected revenue for its 3rd quarter. That's all with the Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
Because I like to do things which are a little bit crazy, I just want to hit the Mortal Kombat flawless victory. But this is not really flawless yet. But the entry looks pretty good here on OPTT. When it started spiking the upside on volume, immediately sort of picked back out that level up from the morning. It's not that hard to see the pre-market high and that opening range top I got the rollover, taking shares out. I've got about 40% out already on the way down to 3 even. I'll take it all out in front of that. And VWAP, incidentally, just happens to be VWAP as well. But you did see some support down at 3 on the way up. I anticipate it could run into some chop there. And I think if it breaks 3 even, there's probably some other different trades that we can take southbound of that level. That's why I want to make sure I'm taking this profit in front of it. So if my average out's going to look like 25, 30 cents on the trade, I'm going to like it here on OPTT. I do a plug. I do see now finally getting to that 18 level, guys. So it's a couple of pennies away, and there really isn't a heck of a lot. This is not a lot of size for plug. You're only looking at about 100,000 shares on the offer, and it's done 20 million. So plug power looking like it might chew through that, guys. And we didn't get to 1,800 yet. And I put my sort of like imaginary money. We don't actually bet on these things because I'm not sure how you would. I need someone else to bet against me. That we'd get to 1,800 likes before plug broke 18 even. Well, I'm going to try the break through 18. If it rolls over, I do like a short, but I'll probably let it go back down through like 75 or 80 before I take it.
Okay, I'm just getting some orders out here as we have to get that trade going. Okay, the other trade that we're talking about right now, of course, is PLTR. We're out a little bit there at 24, so that's a new position for us. Nothing else really happening. I did take a little bit of luck in here at 15. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're just trying to get out at 12s, 13s or 12s, but here it goes back to the upside. And other than that, man, we're just waiting. We're waiting for JP Morgan to break. Look, there's big size there, so I want to bring that to everyone's attention there. Decent size on the bid right now of JP Morgan, so that was one to look at as it just bounced a little bit off 50 there. So we're holding the bag right now on it, but it's not a big position. I'll let you know when we do take one on JP Morgan. It basically would have had to break the high. We just thought that we're into this zone, but then bang, comes crashing back down. So watch out here for JP Morgan. Not as super excited about it, obviously, as we were in the past, guys. Brandon, what's up?
Ocular Therapeutics, back to small cap world, guys. 20% move here after earnings and sales for their latest quarter were better than expected. So OCUL, right back to this high, which was basically the top end of the range on the daily chart, guys.
Thank you very much. From Brennan into a win means yeehaw. We go on OPTT. Just got some more shares out on the way down to 3 even. So this rollover is still in full force. Plug just bounced off of that 18 level, but it's still holding in the mid 90s, guys. So it's going to have to fall a little bit further than this before I believe that it's actually failing. If it gets down into this, like I said, like 75 to 80 range, I think I'll try to put something on here. And I still have that stop long at 18, which I can use as a bit of an out if I want to any short trade that I do take in that 75 to 80 range with plug. It's had a couple of pullbacks. The biggest one was right around here randomly at 17.35 when it came back into 17. That's only 25 to 35 pennies. Not a heck of a lot when it's gone up $1.50. I think there's a bigger retracement in play. 18 could be that first level, but right now still looks like a breakout. I got my long trade ready. If it goes through, you'll see me trigger long, hopefully at 01 or 02.
Yeah, and there we go. We talk about our winners and losers. So there it is, man. JP Morgan out. I have one share. Okay. We have literally one share left of JP Morgan. So obviously the order didn't get me out of everything. So yeah, if you see me in that, we're not really in it. I will get out whenever of this at one point. So it's not going to be on our board. But right now, just looking there, you saw Palantir go all the way to the upside. We did take some shares there at 21. Should have obviously held it as it's right now back to VWAP. So Palantir, if you guys took that scalp with us, congratulations. It's back up to 26, 27. I think that's the play on Palantir, man. You just got to scalp it in between these levels until something actually happens. And I'm not sure that's going to happen today. What's up, E?
A little bit late to the party with this one today, but Lithium America, LAC, just made a new high on the day on decent volume, but fading this 1530. We're kind of halfway back to this range on the daily chart. 1580 to 16, more like a level for this thing, but definitely strong late in the morning, guys.
Just updating you guys, and I'm going to say on OPTT, as it's coming back to the upside, I usually do this over and over again, but I always like to say to you, mention to you guys, when I take out over half the position on the way down, if it doesn't quite get to the target but gets close enough and bounces up, that's reason to tighten the stop. I would not give it to that 355, 360 when it's already made a test to the downside and already kind of worked and then is failing to get through that key level. So if that's going to happen, the stop moves to 350 at that point. That only happens if it moves to the downside past like that 25-20 mark, which it did. So I will tighten up the stop. That's the only change I will make. Everything else remains the same. I will take it all out in front of 3 even, but the stop is now at 350 on OPTT. Oh my goodness, just missed Plug. Plug did make a move to the downside there. It just broke 75. I'll try to get some shares southbound. It looks like it did not break 18. I really think I thought it was going to. It was at 99s. I was all ready to get triggered long. Next thing I know, I'm staring 75 to 80 in the face. I'm going to jump into the short. I'll be all out if it breaks 18, of course, reverse to the long. But Plug finally trying to come back in.
Yeah, I did like that playoff. I thought you had the short there at 18.
I didn't take. I did.
Oh, well, yeah, but whatever. This is what happens to us, and we talk, and we don't put the trades on sometimes. This DraftKings trade, man, what a big one that's going to be. And if you are going to join us after the show at approximately 1 p.m., we will be talking about these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics, all for free, all coming on our Market Wisdom page. So make sure you go over there, like that page, subscribe to that page as well as ours, and make sure you're watching. And one of them is trade setups, the setups that we like, the setups that we don't like. And I don't know of a better one than this, so I'll probably go over this trade right there. Should have held for the high side right up here, would have been better 54, but whatever. Some news about DraftKings I told you about in quick 7 seconds. We'll take that 40 cents, but yeah, misstep there for me on DraftKings, but that was a pretty decent setup. Now I'm actually debating going short, guys. 54.30 here on DKNG. I don't know. We're still down that 4.5%. I'm still waiting for more NFL news. If there's anything on the wire there, Brendan will have it. But I did know that some more players did test positive this morning. I saw on my app when I came into work there. Don't watch your phone when you're driving. So I parked, got out, and saw what was going on. And it was another New England Patriots player. So we'll see. But right now, that is not affecting any games from what I can see. So yeah, maybe DraftKings goes back to the upside. They did reprice that 1.6 billion offering, not reprice, but give the price at 52. And look what happened at 52, man. They bought that sucker up. So that's how you know. I mean, it didn't even crack 52. I mean, 51.75, whatever in the pre-market. But since it's been open, nothing, no real volume come through. A big market on open order of almost 1.1 million shares goes off at 53. So that should have been our target right there and giving us some ideas that this thing was heading upside.
Yeah, and what a great run that was off that 52. I mean, you can't really overstate it. I do want to jump back over to Plug. I waited for the flush to come in. Certainly, you can always jump in front of that, and we've talked about this over and over again. If there's size in front of an even level like an 18, you can scalp some out like 5, 10 pennies, and then let the move come into you. This time, I do miss that trade. I'm still going to take a breakout at 18 if it goes, but on this consolidation short, I will take this short position right here at like 80. I wanted an average price around 80 to low 80s, so that's what I have on right now. We'll give this to the top. I want to see if it can work back down to 15, to 1750. I'll take some shares out on the way down, but I do want to make sure that I am holding something all the way into this level here, down to like 1735. It happens to be VWAP, but really, if you look at this little hump here, the first pullback was off of 1735. I mentioned that. And then it pulled back after a breakout there, and 1735 was that bottom. So that's going to end up being my ultimate target. I will scalp on the way down, but I'm going to be holding at least a third of the position down towards 1735, and what happens to be VWAP as well. Plug Power, first trade for me ends up being a short. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Another one that was a good short this morning, right off the bat. PEC, P-E-C-K. Tested all the way up here to 14 at the open, ended at $10 or almost $10. Trying again, though, we're back to 12 for this PEC. This was the one, solar company, new contract in Rhode Island. So trying to move higher again for PEC, guys.
Right. Rhode Island, PEC, yes, obviously. We'll look at PEC for sure. Let's look at it right now, actually. That's an interesting name there. $11.94, $12. Look at that, guys. 15 million shares. I mean, sometimes you come into stocks, and I mean, we like we keep saying, we have Brendan, so it's great, but sometimes you come in and you're like, what is this name? And look at this upside banged there. And look where we stopped. This is why we want to talk about it. And thanks for bringing it up, Brendan. Right there at VWAP on a 1-minute chart. If you take that, what a great out there. We do talk about VWAP all the time. We have videos on it. So if you're not using that as some kind of an indicator, I find it may not be good for longer term plays. That's why there are some different things that you can use, Fibonacci's and things like that. But as far as scalping on a 1 and 3 minute chart, I mean, that gives you that exact out right there. And even on the way up, look at it just riding VWAP back down here at some VWAP support levels. I mean, mind you, this is 8:30, so volume's not huge at that point. But once the market opens, you do get VWAP now straightening out off of some of these huge prints. So watch out, man. 12.20. I do like the break, and that's why I'm bringing it up. If we can break 12.35 here, maybe 12. Let's call it 12.40 on PEC. We'll go long. 12.40 PEC. Thanks, Brendan.
Yeah, I just want to jump back to Clorox for a second. It's trying to hold that 215 level, so it hasn't even cracked 1 million shares yet, so you are going to see a bit of a spread. I would hold off on taking a kind of a dip buy until I see this resolved here. A bit of a seller following it down on the level 2, 215.40. It's only 10,000 shares, but you can see what liquidity is like on a stock like Clorox, so not insignificant that you do see a bit of a sell at that price. I can tell you OPTT, the last little bit, I moved my trailing stop, let you guys know that once I'd taken some profit, I'm going to move that trail down. I accidentally got long, but if that ever happens, I just immediately get out of that position. So instead of paying the spread, I made a couple of pennies there. It is continuing to slide back down. At this point, I need to see it test the high. It's got to really go up to this 365 and fail, or even break through and come back down for me to short it up here. Now I'm looking for breakout through the top or trade it below 3 even. Everything in between, I'm going to run away from that one. I'm going to stick with just a periphery of the move. That'll be a 365 break on OPTT, or if it breaks down below 3 even, I think you have what might be a slide to the downside in the afternoon. So that's the name of the game here in OPTT. First short I didn't like. That stunk. The second one, a good one here, but you had to tighten up that stop. Otherwise, you're still holding it against you.
Yeah, I did want to, I see some chat here. Maybe Brendan can come with it. I don't know if it's just a break, but Nicola right now making moves to the high side there, like a gap high there. Oh, there you go. The chart filled in. Okay, so it was not a gap. So, okay. So normally if a stock would gap higher, that's a little more interesting to me because all of a sudden it's like, bang, someone markets it up like, 50 pennies and the chart has to pick it up. So it is a break. But my guess here, guys, for those of you watching, and again, just a guess, is just a break of this high. And it just happens to be 24.50. Normally that's a stock I'm all over, and I'm actually surprised that I'm not. It's not on my dead to go list here, and that is Nicola. But it does break that 24.50. Why does it stop at 24.80? Let's just have a quick look here at the daily chart. What do we have on the upside here? That's $29, $30, $27.40 and $25.85. So yeah, nothing really technically on the day chart. We're still a while to go back here. I don't know what people's opinion on Nicola is, but I'm just kind of scalping it. If you ever see me go long, I'm already in. My average price now is about 28, 29. After we did pick some up, I was initially long at 34. This has not been a great stock for anybody unless you pick some up recently. But Nicola, again, Trevor Milton, I guess I could say ashamed CEO because what he did to this company and some of that money that came into it obviously wasted now. So watch out for Nicola, but new management now, and GM still eyeing that deal. So Brendan will be ears to the ground, as will we. We have a news feeder in our P Pro 8 platform as well. So we have that up. That's how me and Neil sometimes get the story, and then Brendan has it on the Reuters icon. It's actually Refinitiv now, so my mistake. The Refinitiv icon terminal, very similar to that of the Bloomberg. And Brendan, if you want to take 2 or 3 minutes to sort of go over that Refinitiv, that'd be great as well, as the market's a little slow right now. But Brendan will have some news, I guess.
Yeah, just going to say I don't see anything. Nothing on Nicola as far as I can tell anyways at this point. But Sean was saying probably just a break of that high, maybe some stops getting run there. Just wanted to mention this one as well. Guardant Health, GH, another one with an offering this morning, way down here around 101, and another one with an offering that's just been doing nothing but climbing back to the upside. Very strong on the daily chart. Guardant Health back to the upside. We can have a look, sure, yeah, at the Icon terminal here. If you're familiar with Bloomberg terminals, this is very similar. Just a number of different news feeds here. I watch some of the individual stocks. This is just a search bar. I can type in any symbol that I want. I have the Canadian market down here, gainers and losers on the Canadian market. This is just general equity news. So the overall market, any headline that comes in, and the symbol that it's related to, you can see URI there, GLO in Toronto. There's some Japanese stocks down there as well. This is government political news in this window, and then any global major headline. So this is anything and everything as far as news is concerned will come into here. So some of the vaccine news, some of the virus cases, anytime the numbers come out on a daily basis, I'll see them here first. The center here is just the search. I have Ocular Therapeutics, that last one I just brought up to you guys. You can see all the financials, the previous open, the volume today, market cap down here, 500 million on the market cap, so a little bit of a small cap there. Free float, outstanding, all the news or all the information that you need on individual stocks. So I could go on and on about Icon, but that's a little look, guys, at Refinitiv Icon terminal now, guys.
Oh, Brendan has all the nicest toys over there. He's got the the nice desk and everything, but it's an awesome tool. And look, we lean on it. We're happy to share that resource with you as real-time news comes in. I want to come back to Levi's, of course, on the watch list, probably for the first time ever for us because of positive earnings, and it's just surprise profit. I've been in a short trade basically the entire morning. It's just a bit of a gap fill to the downside. The last time I got out, I mentioned there was an iceberg order, a buyer at 15.75 that was refreshing. It did spike up and then roll over at 16, so that buying did cause it to move back to the upside. So not a horrible out, but it's right back down and has just broken through that same price. I think if it rolls over again off of this obvious support level, then we'll get that move down into 15. I don't have a heck of a lot of reason to do anything else. I've already moved my stop to 16.35, so it's either going to be break even on this last 10% of the position, guys, or it's going to give me all the way down to that 15 area to get in front of it. One more. Now, Brendan came with this penny stock on the Amex, UAME. I'm not going to say the full thing. I'm just going to call it UAME here. It's I just got into a short trade, the first one of the day. It rolled over off 75 cents. I was waiting for it to sell off. Then I wanted to jump into some consolidation. So I just did that in front of 65 here. I'm working this one down into what will probably be VWAP and a 50-cent area for a nice, hopefully good trade here in UAME. Is on the Amex. Penny stock, guys. So all things relative. Treat it like it's a $6.50 stock for reference. It does trade in like tiny tick increments. So the adjustments have to be made on your hotkey setup.
Okay, and there it is. It's backflip time, and it's bang time right now. Look at this. We gave this to you, and I give all holy praise to Brendan once again for that peck, man. I had known nothing about it. It breaks VWAP. I give this to all of y'all there. I told you if it breaks this little level here, no better trading setup. Boom, 90 cents now in the money. Look at Peck, 12.30 breaks VWAP. We go long. We take that out right there for 50 cents. Now it goes up to 13.60. Where's my order? 13.78. So here it comes. Let's go, Peck. Do we have it in you to give the smooth $1.50 winner right now on Peck? It's stopping right now, so put your hands down, young fellow. And by young fellow, I mean old man. Boom, 13.80, there it is, a $1.60 win. Here we go, nice little call there on PECK. You want to talk about a trade, that's a trade right there. I can't do this any better. Long at VWAP, out for half for 50 cents, and then we blow the account upside there and get out at basically the high. We're going to tweet that one out. Follow me at Trader TV Sean. This is how we do it, guys. Big time trade. Montel Jordan in the building. Hot dogs for all.
Montel Jordan to hot dogs. That is literally one segue you will never hear anywhere else. Montel Jordan, Mr. NC State, North Carolina, I believe it was. I don't like North Carolina or Duke. I'm an MSU guy. But UAME, I just got into this one, talked about the rollover. It has started. Took first shares off at 60. I'll work them all the way down to what happens to be VWAP. Really looking at previous support was down here at like 53 cents or so. So the rollover has started. Already got some shares out, like I said, but it's just the first leg, literally like 10%. If it grinds into this entire range, keep things in mind here. That's a 20% range in terms of return, so that's one thing you got to always consider. Like, it's a 62-cent stock. 10 pennies is going to be like 15 to 20%. You got to keep that in mind when you're making trades in penny stock. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it can definitely add up, especially if you let it go too far against you. That's why with a 63 short, I won't let it go past 65. I'm not going to risk 10, 15 cents on something like this because that's actually a lot if you're trading in penny stock territory. This one on the Amex, plug, man, this thing is strong. So the best trade was definitely if you're shorting it anyways. The best trade was long on the stock, obviously. But if you're shorting it right off that 18, that trade was awesome. It's holding this consolidation, so it hasn't gone against me. Hasn't gone more than like 5 or 10 cents in the money, but I'm not taking it off till it goes 10 or more in the money. That's the way I'll structure that trade. If I'm giving it to 18, I've got to be willing to get more profit than that or the math does not work. Brendan has something for us. What do you got there, bud?
If you're watching this CRISPR, what is it? CRSP. The company, though, is CRSPR Therapeutics. Nice day here, 11% to the upside. I have to show you this headline because it's pretty interesting. Two of the individuals that work at the company were awarded the Nobel Prize for gene editing and innovators to boost a specific gene therapeutic that they're working on. So they won the Nobel Prize, and the stock's up 11% today. Or two people at the company won the Nobel Prize for the specific work that they're doing. Up 11% on that, guys.
All right, guys, again, thanks for all the love. It's already that time, guys. Let's get to some fruit salad action right here after that trade on Peck. Peck even going even more right now. We do have a big guest on today. Hits me up on Twitter all the time. What's up, guys? Today's special fruit salad brought to you by a variety of different colors as we sit back and chill now. We are completely flat. We're at our highest spot of the day. You just saw that. I gave you Peck like 20, 30 minutes ago, and we tweeted it out. So thank you again. I see everybody there on Twitter and on our chat. You love the calls. You love the energy. You love everything. I want to thank you to all of our members, all of the super chats coming through today. And out of this, I know Neil's not a big fan, but I'm feeling the watermelon. I got to taste it because it's obviously not watermelon season. So I don't know if it's going to be juicy or not. But once again, there's Peck out at the ultimate high there so far. Who knows? It could blow up even more. But when a stock is 83% and I have no idea what it is, we take that out and scalp that. And that is trading right there to the master plan. So we hit the backflip. And there we go. That is Peck. We bring in the heat for you every single day. Let's go.
And I'm gonna. One of our members here, Brent, is looking at that plug, and I said to you guys a couple of seconds ago that it feels strong. Absolutely feels strong, but I'm not changing just because I have a gut feeling that it might be going to the upside. I already have a structure which is anticipating that, and that's reversing long at 18. I'm going to take some more shares out on the way down here. You can see that UAME still in the money, just adjusting. As I get out, I have to adjust my stop order because obviously it's going to be for less shares in the event that it does go up. It is sliding to the downside, so for the time being, it's not a worry. Every now and then, if you hear one of us say, I accidentally got short, I accidentally got long, it's typically because a stop order, we took profits and then still had the full amount of our shares in the stop order. It'd be fun if that actually adjusted itself. Maybe that's a key feature. And funny thing about Day Trade the World is I can, after the show, literally send an email and say, that would be a nice feature, and then we'll consider putting that into the system. So I'm going to do that because it makes a lot of sense to me. I want to jump back over that TLC, not 10 or 11 care, not the group, but the actual company here, the stock. Another bottom made. This is after an upside halt that did not continue to move through 720, but another bottom put in right around that 550 mark, and now it's going all kinds of sideways. It looks like it'll be a heck of a breakdown at 560 here. I see 550 as a low. That must be in the pre-market, but 560 since the open. Heck of a breakdown, I think, if it ever gets through that price. You'll count me involved, but for now, Brendan, what do you got for us?
What an opportunity on this ELAN. Yet another day high, yet another volume spike. We're up to 32 on that last little push there for ELAN, that activist news we talked about earlier. Sending this thing to the moon today, 12.5% now, guys.
All right, and there goes Peck again to the upside, and it's just funny. Someone someone said, "Oh, that we got this Peck, or I got this Peck from another service." I honestly don't. I mean, where do I have time to watch anything else? And then plus, if you rewind the tape, I put this to you on a silver platter, gave that to you. Thanks for that quote there by Jag the Mag there. Boom, right there. We gave that one to you guys there on a silver platter. And I even admitted that I knew nothing about the stock until the man, the myth, the legend brought that to us. So other services, they're not going to compete with us, so I don't watch them. And how in the hell can I have time to do that anyways? But there it is there. I think you found your one-stop shop. Hopefully you have with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll just keep proving you guys wrong. I trade small caps, big caps, shorts, Bitcoin, pink sheets, whatever you want. I'm all over it, man. You're going to see me in Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Peck, Plantier, JP Morgan, DraftKings, Elan. I mean, who gave me this trade then? Who gave this one? This was boom, boom. Look where it'd be now. $2 in the money. Let's go, man. You fall down the money. Follow me, and then you'll see what we're talking about. Don't have to watch any other services. Let's just play together. This is a big win. Boom, boom, upside. Obviously, I didn't capture enough profit. That's one thing that I have to do better, guys. Look at this art. Going to go for sale soon. No, it's not. But we do have to follow our plans. If you're scalping, then you do take out wins like this. And if you're holding for longer term, there's the big win on Elan. But I'm done my little rant there. And it's just like we put a lot of time and effort into this. And, that's how you get the winners. You can't be lazy, man. Follow another service if you want. What I'm doing is called educating, not pumping stocks. Let's go.
Yeah, pumping stocks. We never try to do that. And that's one thing I can make you that promise right here. It's not about pumping stocks. It's about looking at what the market is doing and what it's giving you and just giving our perspective on it and the trades that we're going to make in real time. And again, we've been active trading for a long time, not quite 2 decades, but it's getting a little bit close. WWR, we've talked about this one all morning long, and it hasn't gotten to this breakout point, but the harder it tries, and I'm going to show you guys on like this is a 1-minute chart, but it's going to show you yesterday's top. Also, pre-market action at 1280, afternoon high at 1280, failed break at 1280 during lunchtime. If it breaks 1280, what I'm getting at here, I'm going long. It's now high enough that I can put the stop order in and not necessarily worry about it breaking up and then halting. I didn't like that down around $11, but now that it's up here, I can go ahead and put that stop back in. I think it could go parabolic if it gets through. It was the only one of these names that had showed no strength in the morning, but now that strength is coming in. 1450 is the first level past that 1280, so a couple of things will likely happen on that break. You might halt into 450. Definitely, I will take profit off in front of 1450. It was a hard break or failed break when it got to that price before. So WWR back on the radar. Still in the money for me is shorting UAMI. It continues to break down. You see me, and I talked about this on the way in. I will just take shares off all the way down into what should be like a 15 to 20% retracement. If it gets crazy, maybe I'll hang on to at most 20% of the position to see if it goes down to my lucky number 42. That seems rather unlikely. I think it'll probably consolidate below VWAP before that would happen, and then there could be another trade after that. For now, this is a short on that second leg. It couldn't break higher than this level when it failed. I jumped into the short. Now it's grinding downside here on this Amex name. Plug Power. I don't know, man. Plug, you're too strong. I need you to do this. I need you to run out of power like our little graphic does there. And I don't know why you'd leave it plugged in if you're running away. But and also, how does the car move when I'm not in it? Charging it. But anyways, we'll figure that one out later. It is still grinding in this tight range, and this is down at like 70 all the way up to this 85. I'm basically short right here at 81 in the middle of the range, so if it breaks up, what I should be doing is if my gut is telling me it's a strong stock, I can give it just a little bit past this range, but I am giving it to the high of the day. I feel like if it is going to give me a shot at VWAP, it's got to be worth giving to that top. It's only like 20 cents, and I'll scalp at least half of it out to make sure I get some profit on the first 20 pennies. But here it goes. Brent, I know you're following along with this trade. You're going to go short against a strong upward trend. You have to be patient. You have to have a level you're working off of. Obviously, it was great if you got 95s. I was waiting till the shorts actually got some kind of a win first, and then I've jumped in. Let's go plug. Let's get down to VWAP.
All right, and again, guys, thank you so much. I'm not even in any positions anymore. Those of you know what kind of a day it's been.
Money.
All right, so let's just keep doing this, man, for you guys. And again, thanks for all the love. I mean, people saying, the best. It doesn't matter. I think we're the best show on YouTube by far, and that's enough. So we can go on from that. Okay, AMD yesterday, and again, some people never seem to lose any given day. So congratulations to them. Yesterday, AMD, I did lose on AMD, and we talked about why on that stock. This is a crazy moving stock. Was already up 3+% today. Watch the NASDAQ. Like, this stock is falling right now, and NASDAQ's holding up strong. So thinking about shorting AMD into VWAP. If we ever get anywhere near 87 again, probably a decent short. VWAP is right up here, so 86.50 you could start to build right now. But it's 11:30. The market right now, as you can see, not really moving. So I did want to give shout outs to the PEC and to Elon. Those were good trades on kind of a slower day here. The one trade that we did miss again, and I don't know, maybe a service gave it to me. I have no idea. But this was a good one. We gave it to you down here at $20.95, $21. I gave this to you $21.25. Unfortunately, you don't see a little tick there. Should have been mine. We should have had that, but at that time, I think we were talking too much Palantir. So that was a big trade there. We'll look to get NEO again, but right now, in a little bit of a range. What up, Pete?
One we haven't talked about today, but has made quite a move in the solar group as well. It was Siemens, SunPower Corporation, Siemens Energy start with overweight rating. So Siemens with an upgrade on SPWR. Nice look. 15% here, just tagged $18 there. Volume still coming in, but yeah, that was a pretty nice move as well. 17 here, support, up to 18 for SPWR.
Is it Ben Simmons? Hopefully the stock does better than his jump shot. But I want to go back over to AAL here. You're going to see, of course, it's going to be in play. Ignore this wick, the actual bottom, 1280. since the open. This is stock I'm down on. I tried a bit of a long breakout in this little range up here. It failed and flushed me out. If I had held on to it and been stubborn about it, it would have gone barely in the money and then come all the way back. So any way you cut it, that long wasn't going to work. I just think it's a little more disciplined to just admit it right away rather than let it go this far against you. If it doesn't even get back to previous highs, you're probably looking at a deeper loss here. But it is worth noting that the ES is grinding towards that 34. Obviously, at any moment, you could see any kind of a spike in news. I wouldn't be shocked if we got some like lunchtime sideways consolidation right here, 90 to 13. And if you were watching this stock yesterday, let's just go, maybe we'll zoom out the 3-minute here. If you were watching this stock yesterday, the lunchtime channel, essentially, even when it broke, it then maintained the same size of channel. And then even as it grinded higher, the channel stayed about 25 to 35 cents. And when it broke out of it, any break of whatever the channel ends up in the afternoon, any break in either direction outside of that, whether it's a 10 to 15 cent channel or 25 to 35, if it happens in like a minute, you know it might be news and it might go, and this is what you got. So I'm looking at the same kind of thing today for AAL. I'm hoping it has a tight range all afternoon and then gives you a rapid breakout that you can just jump into on momentum for, I'm not saying it's going to move $1, unlikely because the president's unlikely to make the same kind of tweet as the day before, but that kind of a move, like a 20, 30, 40 cent move right away, certainly possible when the algos get going. Sometimes they lose money when they get any kind of a headline, whether it matters or not, and you can take advantage of it if you're looking for the move in advance.
Yeah, I love it. Your guys are getting up to 2K. Valeria said we have 2K. Do we have 2K already, Valeria? No. No. She just wants to get it today. Okay. Let's get that 2K up. Okay, so Palantir right now, it's just a shame because this was a great trade, and I put on not too many shares. I put on the right amount of shares that we wanted for a quick scalp, but the idea was just to scalp it quickly. I actually thought that Palantir would break eventually this, and then we'd come down here. I do have a big bid sitting here in the low teens, so didn't hit us, but we did think that was coming. Unfortunately, our day would have been even bigger if we had held some of them, but we didn't, and we took it out 23s, 24s, and then I thought I got some out 25s, but I must have got them rest out at 24. So my next play, I still think, I don't see any reason why we can't take out 50 here. There's been a lot of volume coming in lately, as you can see. If I can just put this up just a little bit, you can see just coming in now as we're getting going, breaking through VWAP. So not that I think that VWAP means anything right now on Palantir. It's back and forth and around. You can see VWAP really hasn't met much except for the opening break, but that was momentum. So here it's not giving much. So that's, again, VWAP's going to work great, but when you see it not really doing much, like right now, it's not really giving you a trade, then we stay away. I still have a bid here at 10.21, and then what I'm looking for is a 10.50 break. And the reason why I'm not in any trades again, it's a half hour until lunch, which is fine. We are coming back at 1 o'clock. We do have news coming up, and we're just looking for great opportunities. When you've already made your money, a lot of traders will run away right now, spend the afternoon doing something, work out, do whatever you're going to do, get some reading in, spend some time with some family. And right now the market just not really moving, so I'm not going to put bad money after good, I guess is what I'm looking for, Brendan.
Yeah, something along those lines. Bad money is not good money. Aqua Metals, just saw somebody actually mention this one in the chat, so I wanted to touch on it. They did have a little bit of a pop yesterday. This was 2:06 in the afternoon. I was just trying to check what the news was, but yeah, looks like they were coming up with the new. So this company recycles batteries, so they're in that space as well, but they're on the recycling side of things. Unfortunately, yeah, it's been a bit of a sleepy trade today. There's been $1.10 support, $1.25 at the top, nothing much in the middle. Check the volume. We want to lean on the ones that are doing the most volume and moving with volatility. Yes, this had news yesterday, but right back to sleep, still up 5.4%, but needs some volume to come in to get going again, guys.
I just posted that.
That's what it's all about, Brent. At this time of day, you want to talk about volume. If you're looking for stocks that were strong, you want to think about names which are falling back in because the volume has dried up to the upside. And I'll bring it back to plug because it started to taper off, but it has been a volume fest all morning long. And there is a little bit of retraction here in that volume. And you know what? Let me show you this because I know that lower third will cover it up. There has been a little bit of a retraction in volume, but it's still churning away. That's why it's worth a trade for me. That's why it's likely to still be worth a trade through 18 as long as it keeps up the solid volume, which has been there all day long in plug. And a lot of times, we've seen these smaller cap names, these lower price names that have had the big gappers and then do over 20, 30 million. There's these afternoon trades at like 1:30, 2 o'clock when the volume sticks around where you want to be jumping back into it in the last hour and a half. Plug seems like it could be one of those today. Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Checking on 3D systems. Possible Tesla tie-in here. 3D Systems, DDD in New York, just had a huge pop through $6. I'll have a look and see what I can find. But yeah, possible Tesla I'm seeing, guys.
Came up on the volume scanner there, and I'm actually in there at not a good price, 620. So we'll wait on this one. 3D Systems moving upside. We know Tesla's a tech company, right? Although they sell cars, but looking to get into this game. We're going to get out if it breaks back down through 599. Like I said, man, we're just playing around now. We're trying to get these big winners. We're not putting on big shares. This one looks like we'll probably lose that 25 cents if it does break back down below 6. So 3D, just seeing what's good. I did go to a larger time frame on this one, and I'm parked right around here, 70s, to see if we can't get out in case it does pop. There was some resistance upside right there, so that's a trade that we had on as well. Look at Peck, out. It does go a little bit, but really proud and happy of where we got out. Valeria, I just told her to post a VWAP video. So did that go out yet? Yeah, so the VWAP video is out there, so I do see a lot of you asking about what is VWAP. So Valeria knows what VWAP is, volume weighted average price. So 1240 there, drops back down to VWAP again before fading or before bouncing back upside. So watch out for that one. But 3D right now, 3D Systems, we're going to wait on this and see if there is anything Tesla related. We're up at 670. If it wins, that's going to be 50 cents. And if we lose, we'll drop out 30. But again, it's not... I'd hit the stick if I told you this was a big one. We don't put big money into plays like this when we're not really following the longer term frame.
Two things to jump back to because one, Palantir is headed back towards that 1050. I'll still like that break if it gets there. We're 10 cents away. It's been a level all morning long. We'll have to watch it. I'll come back to Hill. The last name on our watch list today didn't quite get to my 157 target, but it is grinding back down there. So the last 20%, we'll get it all out if we break down towards 157. But if it can't hold 160s, I'll just get out for like a 20-cent win instead of 25. Brendan's got something for us. What do you have there, buddy?
So apparently some of the Model Y parts are already being made by 3D Systems. They're a 3D printing company, so some of the parts are already being made by 3D Systems. They're looking to possibly expand that relationship. That's what I'm seeing so far about 3D, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to consider, what you always want to make sure is look at the historical price levels on some of these stocks, and that's what I always like to do. There is this level where it's turning to right now, this like 630 high, was previous support if you go back into like April to July area. So I like that break if it gets above there. Otherwise, maybe wait for a pullback. Like this chop area at 550, I think that's a good price to get in. So if it takes a top off, maybe there's a bit of a squeeze play to be had, or run into this next area up to 7. I'll wait for it to take the top or give me that 550. I always like to see the levels first before I jump into it, and it looks like 630 to 635 or so to 7 makes sense, and 550 makes a heck of a lot of sense to me on any kind of a dip buy or pullback situation for us, guys. I want to jump quickly back just to review some positions. We're getting close to our guest trader of the day, and then we're going to be wrapping up the show, so I do want to continue to go over and actually could get into that DDD 3D any second now if it takes off the top, but I wanted to take you guys back to the one position I've had on all morning long. It's Levi's. Was near the front of our list in terms of our watch list, guys. Positive earnings for them. Surprise profitability. Had the rollover short here when it failed to take out the fresh high and get through 17. Still hanging on to it. If it breaks back above this 1635 mark, I will get out. Still looking for it to crack down to 15 even. The market is not doing a heck of a lot, so Levi's is also going sideways. But if there's a leg down, I think we hit our target. It's already going to be a money trade for me right now, no matter what. But the structure is pretty simple. From this point on, it's binary. Break even or all the way to the target with the last 20%. Watch out, here comes Palantir, only now 9 cents away from that 1050 mark, guys.
Yeah, like I went long Palantir there through, is my mic on? Yes, it is. I went long Palantir there through 41. I guess I have a stop order there that did not, that did trigger. So That's strange. Okay, let's just get out here. I don't want this trade. We'll wait for Palantir to go upside again. We did just get into that. I don't know. It must have been to protect one of the shorts that I had on. So we'll wait for that. Just printing now 38s, 39s. We're baby long at there. Did we just get out? Yeah, we did. We just got out at 39 there. So lost 2 cents. And again, you know, I'm never making excuses, so it's not an excuse. I have the order in there, so I'll flush myself down the toilet. Did not need to lose that 2 pennies. We did not go long Palantir there. I have to tell you that because I know some of you are following the trade. So there we go. We get out. And look where 3D goes, man, 640. So it would have been a 17-cent win. We'll wait for more news to come out on this one. We're still waiting for the downside. Of course, our top side on this one is 670. And why do we like 670? I'll tell you why, because right here, 670 is sort of where we sort of grouped up there and bunched up before heading to the downside on 3D. So 616, 618, we're just bouncing around on this one. We'll have to wait for it. But one of our favorite times of the day, and it's been a good follower for me here on Twitter. We go back and forth a lot. Let's give it to our guest of the day.
It is that time once again. Happy to have another guest trader of the day joining us, brought to you by Lewis Daniels Watches. Everyone coming on right through to the end of October getting a Lewis Daniels Watches. Thank you so much to Lewis Daniels. I can see off to the side, yeah, I can see that Canadian flag waving in the background. I love it. Christopher Holcomb joining us for the first time as guest trader. Obviously,
howdy, y'all.
Obviously in Canada. Good to see you. What have you been looking at today?
Yeah, I have a family in beautiful British Columbia, Vancouver. So yeah,
love it. How has your day been so far?
Really good. It's kind of an awkward one for me because of the tweet from Trump last night. So I held on to a few shorts of BA until opening this morning, but that was a big win. So I started off green, took a pre-market trade in Sun W after that news broke, knowing that's a former runner. And then also off the break, I took Space and AMD, both big winners.
One we have not looked at yet today. Maybe we should have a look at Virgin. Yeah, it can give you great opportunities every once in a while. Let's jump back into it. Here's Neil and Sean.
There's our lovely
Yeah,
sponsor
there he is. Hey, Chris, I know we go back and forth on Twitter, and great comments there on Sun W for sure. And yeah, good to hear that. Just like a lot of our viewers there, you're getting educated more and more every day, and I like what you're talking about there. And great call on Space. Let me just look that up quickly here. We haven't looked at Virgin yet today. I have liked this stock, as a lot of you know, in the past, but did you trade this off the open, Chris, or is this something that maybe you held overnight?
No, I traded it off the open.
And what did you do? Just take this pre-market long break here, 21.75 or so?
Yeah, exactly. And then let's see here. Got out right. Let's see.
Probably up here, 22 and change, 22 and a quarter.
Yep, 22 and change, and then pull it back, and then I just let AMD actually keep on riding for like another 5-minute candle.
Yeah, great. And that's the one thing, I mean, is that what you use more often than not? Longer term trades, obviously you see us here scalping back and forth. I already have 221 fills today. So do you tend to make 5-10 trades a day? Are you more active, a little less active? And by the way, you said you have family in lovely British Columbia on the West Coast. Where are you located? And if you're ever in Toronto or around Toronto, we'd love to have you come through.
Oh, yeah. I'm located in Abilene, Texas.
Oh, okay,
so we're pretty far apart.
quite far. But if you did ever come to the Great White here, come up north. And again, right now it's about, what's the temperature here? 16 degrees Celsius. So bring your Canada Goose jacket if you come anytime in the next couple months, as the weather is creeping up over here. But back to your trades. Are you an active trader, less active? How many trades a week? How many trades a day?
No, I'm a very active trader. My morning is a gap up momentum strategy. We've actually discussed it in the chat room before. So it's the person who teaches it is pretty popular. I take a gap up scanner and I just see what's the ones that are gapping up the most. I check the catalyst. If it's a strong catalyst, check the volume, check the float. If both those meet the Goldilocks standard of just right, along with the catalyst, and if it's a former runner, and if it's showing me higher highs or lower lows going into the entrance or an ABCD pattern, I make my decision on the amount of shares and everything I'll take from there, and I'll just scalp it both ways.
Nice, very nice, great. Yeah, great look. Nice to hear active traders watching the channel. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, one thing you said there, and I think you talked about the ABC patterns. Welcome to the show, of course, Chris. I want to thank you. And then you mentioned putting in higher highs, right? So just essentially signs of strength. And I think this goes to
bull flags.
Yeah, you'll see Brennan and I, and then certainly all of us will look at some of these retracement plays, right, where you're looking for stocks that are showing signs of weakness on gaps to the upside. It's just the other side of that trade. And I think whether you're going long or short in terms of a strategy, most of it comes down to the same sorts of signs where you're looking for indications of what some of the money is already doing in that name in the pre-market. So I love that you're putting that into practice, and I think it's fantastic. You mentioned Virgin Galactic, but that wasn't the only name that you were trading today. But I was trying to look over Virgin while you were saying it. What was the other name that you're active in this morning?
AMD and SunW. Well, SunW was pre-market, and then I didn't take a trade because I was in AMD, Virgin, and then also I covered my final little bit of shorts that I held on from yesterday in Boeing.
Yeah, I mean so just out of curiosity, because I think we all saw that Boeing news when it did drop, and it was sort of stock specific here. Let me just pull up the 3 minutes so you guys can have a look at what happened in yesterday's action. First, you had the release specific to them, and then you had, of course, the Trump tweet, which took it down all the way through that 161, which I thought might have been support. Didn't see the president's tweet coming whatsoever. What was your look on Boeing? What was your trade, and what were you watching? Was it pre-Trump news, or was it post? Like, where was it during the day?
It was pre-Trump news. When y'all brought it up, thanks for that call, by the way, it dropped, and I shorted the bounce, Neil. Shorted the bounce.
Short the pop.
And so I got in at like 167.75-ish, and then I just let it go while I was doing my I knew it was going to be a slow grinder down, so I wasn't really worried. And then that Trump news came out and crashed it. And then I covered most of my shorts, and then I just left just a couple on, and then I left them on throughout the night. So I can't cover my shorts, of course, until the market opens. So I covered those immediately when the market opened, especially with that second tweet about the airliners being a separate stimulus deal on its own. So I covered those right away, jumped into space and AMD right off the bat. Sold space after the first couple 1 minute candles of going up, and then AMD I just let ride for a few more minutes.
You know, the best part of all of that that I like is that the Trump tweet comes in. If you're in a short position like this, and you have to consider two things. Like, a lot of times you might have to take profits out. If you do, a situation like that is where you cancel those bids, because if you got a good directional trade for other reasons, and then something happens in the market which is on your side, let it ride. And there's just no other way around it, right? So you take some profits, because no one ever went broke taking profits, Chris. But hold some into the overnight. You get the other tweet coming in, and you take it all out. That's how you sort of maximize profitability, make your trades more efficient, and get those home run types trades. Because look, part of it is going to be, like, people talk about luck, but then preparation's part of it as well. And if you're ready for something going in your favor, cancel bids, let it run, have an idea of what you might do if you do have to hold it overnight. That kind of planning is how you grow that account. So love to see that you're doing all of that. I want to quickly go back to the market here, because we talked about some strong names. So that plug power, I am in it still. I didn't quite get half of this out to the downside because it's just entirely too strong, plug. It's headed towards that 18 mark. It's broken out of that little lower range. If it breaks 18, I'm going long, baby. It's going to be an 18 break to the upside. I think we're getting close to 2,000. I'm not really sure where we are in the like, but I'd love to see that. Only 200 away. That means that we did get to 1,800 likes before plug broke 18 even, which I said was going to be true. I also happen to be short, so I guess I was betting something on it as well, after all. But plug is headed towards that 18 mark, guys, so it's a breakout long if it gets there. If it rolls over shy, maybe I can add to this position, which I've been holding off doing, simply because my gut has told me that it feels a little bit strong over here in plug power.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for plug to break 18, but yeah, the short seems to be strong. A lot of size there as well, trying to protect this, and it just doesn't look like it wants to go. Volume not really there. Volume did spike pretty high when it did come to 18 and did not break, so watch out there. Good call. Anybody looking at Mr. Plug Power? Okay, Chris, good time right now. There's still 10 minutes left, but we just don't want to, in case something does happen, did you want to give a shout out to anybody in particular? Now's probably a good time, my friend.
Oh, yeah. All my family from Vancouver down the West Coast, all the way across Texas into the Carolinas. Thank you for all the support. My daughter, who, if she's watching this, you should be in class. And my family that I live with here, my sister and brother-in-law. So yeah, we're having a good time and everything like that. They don't quite understand what I do, but they support me.
Well, you could show them the market wisdom page, and maybe that'll help a little bit. But no, again, Chris, thank you for all of that. And if anybody hasn't been to the west coast of Canada, it's absolutely beautiful. As I'm sure we have a couple friends down there in Texas as well, down near Baylor University. I don't know if that's near you, but what's up, Brendan?
Quickly, guys, on that Triple D, just wanted to update. This is a job posting. Apparently, Tesla posted a job posting for 3D printing experienced technician, which ties into Triple D, DDD, which is a 3D printing company. So again, apparently some of the parts in the Model Y are already being made by 3D, Triple D, but now they're looking to expand that, I guess, with this job listing, guys.
Yeah, and just going back to the daily chart, I'm going to show you on a higher time frame what I'm looking at for Triple D. If it breaks 6 even this long, I have sort of, you look at this 650 area down to where that 6 even is right now in the pullback. I'm long in this range. If it breaks down like I just did, I'll cover it for the hit. Now I'm looking for 550 for a dip buy opportunity. The idea being that if it had broken up, I'm looking to get out the top of that channel here. So sometimes you talk about different time frames, and if you're scalping a trade, yeah, you're going to look at 1, 3, 5, whatever works for you. But a lot of times if you're structuring a trade, which might be a little bit different here, like it really looks off the daily chart that I'm watching. So that's where I structured my entry into this one. I don't think we're done. I'd love to pick up 550 here. The speculation is obviously solid, but the fact that they already do business with Tesla works in their favor. So those are just my thoughts on Triple D. Obviously, I'm 0 for 1 on it. I don't think we'll be done for the rest of the day. And it just crossed 10 million in volume. So we talk about volume mattering. This one's keeping it up just a little bit here. Triple D, 3D actually. If they have a good ticker, I should probably say the name right, I think.
Yeah, 3D Systems. Yeah, I got out there on that break of $6 as well. It was a light position, nothing to cry about there. 25-cent hit on 3D there. So, Chris, give us an opportunity now to ask you, is there a specific trade that you remember in your history that would go down as something that you would tell your kids about or anything? It doesn't have to be that epic, but any trade lately that you'd like to give us? Maybe I know a lot of people going long Tesla 410, cashing out on that. Has there anything been memorable for you lately on the trading side of things?
Yeah. Not lately so much, but what was it, about last year, I got into actually Virgin Galactic at like 9-ish. And how I really got to be able to do this every single day. I got my whole office at the time kind of trading it and hyping them up. So they all jumped in it so I could actually trade at my office because they were all doing it as well. And we basically rode that thing all the way up to like $30. It was a long swing trade. It was just one that we kept on every single day, and something that we could talk about around the water cooler. So all the guys at Select Roofing, I used to be a general contractor in the BC before Corona. So, and then, like I said, I started trading pretty heavily every day around the holidays last year. So it kind of prepared me more for the stay at home and gave me something to do. And now this is my livelihood.
So let's hope they all bought you some beer or took you out for lunch. 9 to 30. Hells to the yeah. So we'll hit a siren for that. Good call on that one. And yeah, I do like space, and we did like it around 15, 16. Now it's a little bit elevated, to say the least, as space still moving around. I think I know you're in on it today, but for a long-term investment, and we'll call it up right now, it's Virgin Galactic. We've talked about that over and over again. Let me just give you guys a daily chart, just because it's the name that we're talking about. It's come up here, 25. I still think it needs, look, I would rather get into names when they break through highs on news and things like that. We are above the 50-period moving average, so you get any dips back to 18 or 19, I think you can actually, put some real capital to work as long as you have an out here around 14 or 15. I like this name. Look, if you like space and you want to get into that game, there's not too many stocks that'll be there. You can invest in Google and some of the IT names behind it, but Virgin Galactic, definitely a good name there. My eyes are going everywhere right now, Neil. I can't really find anything to trade. There's a lot of things in some zones here. The one thing is also Roku. I want to bring that to everyone's attention as I look over and Roku makes all-time highs today. Again, Roku up 4% again. Like, wow. Tomorrow, this name has to be on watch, Neil. We didn't look at it today, but I'm going to write it down. And even if it's not on our watch list, we got to look out for that. Look what happens when it breaks this high. 208, man, right to 211, real quick off the open.
Now, I'm going to Brandon in a second, but
say
18
that,
on the offer, guys. Plug right now. Sorry there, Chris. 18 on the offer.
I'm just saying, all my family has Roku. So you always ask who has Roku? My whole family has Roku.
You know what just happened? And now every single time we talk about Roku, we gotta go, Chris. We know people, and it's gonna be Chris's family. So shout out. Those are the first people for me as well that I know that have a Roku. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great, but I really don't know anything about it, particularly because I don't use it myself. Brendan's got something for us. Need to jump over to him at the desk.
I just wanted to point out, guys, this rumor with Tesla and 3D Systems is not specifically related to 3D Systems. It's related to 3D printing. So SSYS is probably the second largest company in the 3D printing space. You can see this thing also made that same move to the upside. $14 here, a little bit thinly traded, but it's kind of a group thing. All the 3D printers starting to go, guys.
For the win there, Brendan, and for the win, Lewis Daniels. I got mine on right here. It's not the best look. There you go. You can actually see that, Chris. You'll be getting yours in the mail at some point. Right. all the way down to Texas. Every time we have a guest from there, I've been there like one time, and one of my favorite things ever is literally getting real barbecue, like just like that ridiculous trough that you can get most places. I'm sure it's the same thing there. Some brisket, some ribs. I'm making myself hungry thinking about it, but it is getting close to lunchtime for me, so I do that often. Plug, can we just break 18 so I can reverse from this short, which is not working, into this long, which it feels like it just wants to do anyways. Plug Power just crushing it to the upside, about to break 11% up, and this 18 offer, which it's not huge size in the level 2, but it's still providing resistance anyway. So we like to show you guys the level 2, but it's not always the best indication of how strong a level is. It's a price action around it, and for now, it's providing some resistance. It feels like it's going to be over with any second now, guys. But Plug Power, I'm still short. It'll be a losing trade for me if it does break into a long. Hopefully that long makes that money back here. Speaking of reversing positions here, Chris, I know a lot of people, you have a bit of a read. If you have Virgin, you're like, I'm going long off the open, whatever it might be. As an active trader, do you engage in sort of going both directions on a stock within the same day, or is it more like, this is my read, I'll stick to that one trade?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, with me, the shorting is, the stock has to, on my level 2, will have a little bitty S. That means their shares are easy to borrow. So, of course, y'all have a little bit of an advantage locating the shares to borrow, but things like DraftKings the other day, I didn't take the long, but I did take the short off of it. And things that have more liquidity, I can short a lot easier.
There you go, and you got to play within your platform as well. We try to let you guys know when we're paying for shorts and when we're getting them for free. We'll let you know in either way. And if it's a ridiculous price, like super expensive, that means demand's high and supply is low for those shares. And we'll try to tell you that as well. What we're seeing on those names here. Only 2 minutes to go, and I really thought. And here's the thing. I definitely thought, Chris, you were going to get us to the 2,000 likes. I think you've been a fantastic guest, giving us your perspective. I mean, I was saying in our chat here, boss level move, getting everyone in the office into the trading game so that you can do it as well. I mean, that's just, it's genius when you really think about it. Around here on our trading floor, someone tried to get Magic the Gathering to be a thing during lunchtime, and I can tell you right now, no mas. Not going to be me. I'm not selling anyone out here. Greg, I'm talking to you, but I'm not into Magic Gathering. But I am into 2,000 likes. I thought we'd get there. I think we're very, very close. We're at 1.9. Valeria is going to be very, very happy. She's got a pout on right now, which is, you guys can't see it just yet, but it was like the cutest thing ever. Get to 2,000. Make her happy. Come on, guys.
All right, cutest thing ever. Okay, wow, Neil stepping out there. What I want to say was boss level as well. Neil saying, I'm not selling anybody out, but you, Greg. So there you go. So saying not selling out, then selling out. Boss level move again. Brendan, give it back.
Guys, a couple things to touch on here before we get out of here for the day. Not a lot of earnings names tonight, but two that are pretty important as far as trade opportunities possibly for tomorrow. So let's go ahead, guys, throw that up there and we'll have a look. Domino's and Carnival, the sector on watch, but Carnival reporting tonight.
There we go.
Wow.
We
Okay.
like these.
Wow, that's a very busy board there. No, just playing around. We'll see about that. This is my favorite animation, not just because of the likes, but just because the facial expressions there. She moonwalks. She does everything, twisting, turning, and around. Chris, thank you so much for today. It's been absolutely fantastic. I know you're a big follower on Twitter as well. I want everyone to follow you. So find me on Twitter, and you'll be able to find Chris as well. Say a shout out to all your family watching. Thank you for the continued support there. And do you have, so you made the space call to everybody at work. Give me a name right now. So if I wanted to dump $1,000 into a stock right now, is there something that you're looking at? Give us a name maybe here for the next couple weeks. Anything you're looking at?
Palantir.
Perfect. To the long side, I assume. Are you already in?
The long side, yeah. I wish I would have invested in one of my investment accounts a couple of days ago when it was around 9:30 because I was seriously looking at it at that point.
So you're not in yet, or are you in?
No, not invested in it. I day trade it.
Yeah, me too. I'm waiting to get in on Palantir as well. I'd like it to go back to somewhere near that $10 mark before we back up the truck on that one. So again, thanks, Chris. Absolutely fantastic. And you will be getting a Lewis Daniels watch, my friend.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you all.
Valeria, what up?
Thank you, Sean, and hello, Christopher. Thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you all the luck with your tradings. Trading family, thank you very, very much for 2,000 likes. Your support is super important to us, and shout out to Cameron for super chat. We did it together. We'll be back live with you shortly. Open the link I'm sending on the chat in the new chat and tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern time for our live educational session. And happy chocolate-covered pretzel day, everyone.
Boom. Not only chocolate covered, but I see there's some sprinkles on there as well. So those pretzels definitely look legit. You have a sweet tooth there, Chris?
A little bit of one. I like more of the sour candies, Sour Patch Kids, and Warheads, things like that.
Attaboy. Kid at heart, I like it.
My roommate at university
Yes,
my roommate in uni spent 30% of his year one budget, and this is like his meal budget in res on those types of candies, which is insane. But he actually doesn't go to the dentist very often, so and he has perfect teeth. I don't know how that works, but I got a sweet tooth. I'm not a huge pretzel guy. I got to be honest with you. I prefer other snacks. Ketchup chips are my jam when it comes to that. Chris, thank you so much, both for sharing your expertise, sharing your trading journey, sharing what you're looking at, but also getting us to 2,000 likes. Obviously, a tremendous response that we've gotten from both the chat and all of our viewers, and we enjoy all of our regular viewers and our new ones as well, giving us a bigger community, which is what we're all about here. We had to get out of here, unfortunately, but we are going to be coming back and doing a 1 o'clock taping of some educational content. In addition to that, we are also dropping this video. You see it on our charts. It's VWAP. So I don't know why Sean's surprised, because of course we're going to be doing this one again, but more on the trading strategies, how you can use it to get in and out of trades, and make a little bit of money or extra money, or whatever it might be to enhance your trading. So check that one out. Valeria has already dropped the link. Speaking of which, time to go down the line. Valeria, my man Sean Katina, Brendan Wickens with the fresh haircut. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thanks.
Money, 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 money.